Hello, everyone. We are back for another episode of Alan's Movie Talk. I am your host, Alan from AG Reviews, and I am here again with Ian, who basically is my co-host at this point. We're just going to call it because he's been on every week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's whatever. So
right. Yeah, it's very much whatever. How are you, Ian? How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, we've had it's been a good well, it's not even been a week yet, sorry, but it's been a
Yeah,
good day. So
yeah. No, I mean, not too eventful. Kind of
yeah,
quiet. Nothing crazy going on.
yeah,
Right?
nothing
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Right. No, obviously kidding. We got the big Doomsday trailer drop today. I mean, I know that's the elephant in the room. We are going to hold off though on talking about that right off rip,
Yeah.
because we still want to give the respect to the big movie that came out this weekend and talk about that. So we'll kind of go straight into that. We're going to get into our Odyssey review. I'm going to pull up a couple articles here really quickly
Okay.
that I kind of wanted to, we'll talk about, we'll review it first, but I kind of wanted to, have this as the background as we talk about it. I know this is not fully updated. This was from the weekend where it was sitting at a 95% critically, and then a 97% for the fans. So pretty heavy praise for this film so far. I have a lot to say about it, so we'll go ahead and just get into it. I'll pull out my notes here. General thoughts we'll start with first. I absolutely love this movie. This is a masterpiece for me. We talked about it on your stream that we did about horror movies this year. And I told you, and I've said it multiple times at this point, that if Obsession didn't finish as my number one film of the year, it was going to be a damn good year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to say it's already been knocked off early in July.
Understandable. Yeah.
Right. I loved this film. There was so much about it that worked for me. I think you had said that you weren't familiar with the Odyssey, like the story.
No, I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
I just unfortunately am not super into Greek mythology. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. I knew almost nothing. I mean, I believe we read it in high school. I think. I don't remember.
Me too.
It's been, I don't know, 16 years basically since I was in high school. So I couldn't tell you a thing. I'm not a huge Greek mythology guy myself, outside of what I've seen in movies, pretty much. This movie was damn near a masterpiece for me. I loved this thing from start to finish. And I'll be honest, like I really respect Christopher Nolan as a director. I will say though that I am not as high on him as maybe some other people are. I love his work. There are a couple of movies from his filmography that I'm really in love with. Everything else I kind of think is just good, and I'm not obsessed with like other people. I'm obsessed with this movie. This is one of my favorites. I think this is a top 3 Nolan film for me. And what works really well. Hello, Teddy. How are you?
Hey, Teddy.
I mean, I'll just go into like brief things that I thought about this film, of why I liked it so much. Performances, top down. This cast is fantastic. Matt Damon as Odysseus, front runner for Best Actor for me. I thought he was absolutely spectacular. You got Anne Hathaway. She was the show stealer for me. I didn't expect a lot from her, and what she put in here was great. Robert Pattinson is the villain. We're going to talk about that a little bit in more detail. Fantastic. I loved what he did here. And I even thought Tom Holland was good. People are kind of giving him shit, and I think we're giving him shit going into this movie. I thought he did great. This was some of the best work that we've seen of his career. I think this movie's story is so emotional and so multi-layered because there are multiple different like time periods, stories that we're getting into here. And I thought all of them were all very engaging. Yes, there were certain, like the Odyssey journey with Odysseus, I think was the best thing, but the other side stories that were going on as well were just as were great. I had a fantastic time with all of them. Obviously, this movie is just a feat in filmmaking, in the way it looks, the way it was shot. Everything was done practically, which is why I wanted to bring up some of these tweets and articles here, because I wanted to talk about a little bit what the crew have said. I know that was long-winded. That's kind of my general thoughts here on what I thought about the Odyssey. My movie of the year so far, a masterpiece in my eyes. Yeah, and we're in July. So
yeah, that's crazy. Halfway through
yeah,
the year. Yeah.
right. And I have two movies that are like looking to be all-time movies that I probably am going to revisit for a long time. So Ian, same for you. What general thoughts? What you thought? Anything else you'd like to add? In just the general section of what I said.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely recency bias for me, but yeah, this is probably a top 3 as well for me, just for the fact that everything about it is amazing. Like you said, on top of the acting, it's really well filmed. Like, I think I might be wrong. I probably get my details wrong, but I think he filmed this one completely in IMAX for the first time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that made it look even better.
I will say I've seen some people say that this is the first movie to fully be shot in IMAX, and that is not true. Okay. But it is the first Nolan film to be shot fully in IMAX. I wanted to clarify. I've seen a lot of people say that, and I'm like, that's not true because other films have been filmed fully in IMAX. I know Endgame was, like, for sure, definitively. Okay. I don't know other film. I'm assuming there are other films, but Nolan is. Yeah. This is the first Nolan film that did that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he I think he had said that he always wanted to do it in full IMAX. Now he got to do this one, which was the perfect film because, like you said, it's it's definitely the top contender. I mean,
so
the
gorgeous.
Acting,
oh my god,
practical effects were the biggest standout to me. We'll get into that later, but like specifically of a lot of the horror aspects, specifically were like really, 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 really. Like, I need him to get on that pronto, man.
Yeah.
Give me my horror movie now. I need it now. I don't want 3 years. Give it to me tomorrow.
Right.
But yeah, no, on top of what you said is pretty much the same for me. I think the sentiments are the same with acting, the performances, the filmmaking, the score. The score is fantastic. Golly.
The like, Sirens track, I've been listening to that on repeat since I saw it.
Oof, yeah, no. Top tier for sure. And I know this just come out, but like I could still give it a good feel about what I'll feel about it later on, and I think this is going to be a top contender for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, so to what I said about it being a top 3 Nolan film for me, like I said, there's 3 films essentially before the Odyssey that I am like, okay, those are top tier Nolan, films that I've revisited repeatedly that I love. The first 2 Batman films, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, just because of what those were for me growing up. I still think they're quality. I still think they hold up a lot. And then Interstellar. And I'll be honest, even Interstellar is one had to grow on me over time. And I think becoming a parent also made that movie a little bit better for me because I could relate to it a little bit more than I maybe did before then.
Yeah.
But even that one, like, that wasn't one where I walked out of the theater and I was immediately like, oh, this is an all-time film for me.
Yeah.
Outside of those Batman films, this is the first Nolan movie that I've walked out of, and I'm like, oh, no, this was... Like, I just watched a movie that is one of the greatest films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so, like, for me, I know you say recency bias. I agree with that. I always think recency bias is, it's definitely a factor. It's definitely a thing.
But, yeah.
The feeling I had, though, leaving the theater after watching this, and I saw it in IMAX, which is definitely something we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Same. Yeah.
That was one of the greatest theater experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in a year I'm going to look back and say, okay, it wasn't as good as I remembered in the moment, but I was blown away. I'm seeing it. So I'm going to Comic-Con, obviously. I land tomorrow. I'm seeing it on Wednesday with some of our friends. We're going to see it. We couldn't get IMAX tickets because it's basically sold out for like a week at this point. We are seeing it in Dolby Cinema, though, at a local AMC there. Yeah. So it's still going to be great. So yeah, I'll kind of go into each category that we talked about here, and we'll break it down a little bit, or a little bit more than we did.
Yeah.
Performance-wise, Matt Damon as Odysseus. I wasn't really sold on that, right? Because I don't know the story, but I kind of know of what the character of Odysseus is supposed to be.
Yes.
And I didn't entirely see it with Matt Damon. And the trailers really didn't do anything to, convince me, right?
No. Well, they didn't really, I feel like, advertise it heavily for me either. Because I think most of his performance is severely cut out of the trailers.
That is one thing about this film I absolutely love. The trailers really don't give anything away about this movie.
No.
Though a lot of the really big stuff, like you get little snippets of it, because I went back and rewatched the trailer, you get little snippets of it. But majority of the time, the trailers give practically nothing away about this film, and I love that for it. But his performance in particular, we're gonna save the end for some spoilers. But the kind of balance that he has here, being like having a straight human performance as Odysseus, and the things that he struggles, in his mind in this film, with being the absolutely badass king.
Yeah.
The balance that he has here is some of the best work that I've seen from Matt Damon. And Matt Damon has been always someone who has been a great actor. And he's had great roles. Like, he's very obviously notoriously known as Jason Bourne. Like, that was a big thing for his career.
Yeah, like, Jesus Christ, come on.
Yeah, and he's been in a lot of great movies. The Departed, Good Will Hunting. Like, there are a lot of things he's known for. This is a career best performance for me. Just everything he goes through on the Odyssey, on the journey in this movie, I was blown away by him. Like, there was just about like, he's the front runner for best actor right now for me. Like, I don't look at any performance that has been done this year and say that was better than Matt Damon in this film. Do you agree? And do you have anything to add about his performance?
No, I agree with you. I mean, that's the thing too, is that it surprised me because of their lack of really showing any of that. So when I was coming into it, I did like the duality of his character with both, like you said, being like more of a human, but also struggling with a lot of like, this deep, just
his
like
actions, stuff, like what he does in this movie. And again, we're not going to go into spoilers yet. But the journey he goes on here, it was so emotionally raw and just human. But he's also the badass kid. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
I think people that are hardcore Odyssey like readers will say that like Christopher Nolan obviously took some liberties. I think even apparently with the ending, but I think it worked for the best in this iteration. So yeah.
I think what Nolan was going, because I've read, like I said, I haven't read the like Homer's original Odyssey, but I have read like what that ending was compared to what we got here, and I think there was a very calculated decision by Nolan to kind of have a different statement be made about Odysseus and everything that this movie went into.
Oh yeah.
And then again, Anne Hathaway. I'm at a loss for words. I just don't know what to say. She was incredible. Obviously, being Odysseus's wife and not being him not being there for 20 years, the consequences of that. You don't really see a lot of like in the 20 years, because this movie, I will say, like with its storytelling, it goes a lot back and forth in time. Is what it gives you, but with her character, you really only stay in the present. Like that's you get one scene, I believe, in the movie where we go kind of back before he went on the journey, but that's it. Yeah. Everything else is in the present, so it's dealing with the ramifications of him being gone. Her essentially having to fill the shoes, and there's a great scene in the movie where she talks about it to Tom Holland's character, of her having to basically be the king with no one giving her that respect of running. I don't even remember the name of the place.
Ithaca,
that's right.
Yeah.
And in a great scene there. So again, her balance of being the soft queen and the mother with also having all of this trauma and all of this damage emotionally from what she's had to go through for the last 20 years. Another one, like this movie, I will not be surprised if the Oscars are just like loaded with
like a sweep, basically.
Like I would not be surprised if there's something in every category from this movie. Will it win? No, but like nomination wise, and she's right there too.
Oh, she's definitely up there. Her and Tom Holland, those scenes specifically, when obviously having to refer to how they go about having Odysseus being gone for so long and looking for a new king.
Right.
And her conversation with him when she took off the bow. Oh man. That was standout like that was insane. So she definitely deserves a nomination going into the next Oscars coming up. So
I agree. Yeah. And Nolan, I don't know, I've never actually agreed with this, but people have criticized Nolan and said that he's not the best at writing female characters, and I think he took that. I think he took that personally, and said, "Okay, well, let's see what we got here, and let's see if you have that same complaint." I don't agree with it. I've seen people say it. I think it's bullshit, but
yeah, I don't agree with that. But
it looked like he was out to prove something this time with Anne Hathaway. And then we obviously got Robert Pattinson as the villain of this film. He was such a sniveling little coward that his actions and the schemes and just the way he acted and again, we'll get into that in our spoiler section.
Yeah.
I wanted him to die the whole time during this film. And again, not going to spoil anything, but his arc in this film is very good. I like seeing him in this type of role where obviously he's very known for most of the time being the protagonist of films. He showed his range. Another actor, I think that's one of the best actors working today. Do you agree? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely agree. I liked his villain performance here since it is a little different from what he's done. And I mean, he has this in Dune 3. So I mean, we're going to see a second one coming up this year. But no,
and I wonder how different that one's going to be too, because with him, it's like he doesn't do the same role twice, and I think that's what's so good about him.
No, he's more of a Weasley villain here. I think in that one he's going to be more a little calculated with it. I think so. It'll give we're going to have a good, different version of each way he's going to play a villain. But this one was funny, especially at the end. That was a really, I loved it. Yeah, we'll get into that later.
We'll
so fun. Yeah, so fun.
Okay, so in performances all around here, this cast was stacked. There were so many people in this movie I was watching, and I'm like, I didn't even know that they were in this movie.
Yeah.
Like we're going to talk about him later. Ryan Hurst was in this movie.
Yeah,
and I was like, I didn't hear anything about this. So that just kind of threw me by surprise when I saw him. Charlize Theron was in this movie. Now that I knew, but they did show her in the trailer, but very minimal little snippets from the trailer with her. So I liked her role in this film. And kind of what she does for Odysseus on his journey here. And I can't remember the guy's name, the blind guy.
He's an actor I really like. He's from I remember him specifically. Did you ever watch that one Romeo and Juliet movie with
yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes.
Yeah. He was one of I think he was the Juliet's like uncle in that movie or something.
Right.
And he's also go ahead.
I was to say he was also the mechanic from John Wick.
Yeah,
where he brings him John Wick's car and he's like, "Are you stupid? Do you know whose car you stole?" But he's always been that type of actor, right? Where he has kind of been in a lot of movies as supporting roles. He's not really known. Like I don't even know his name. I think it's like
John Leguizamo or something.
Leguizamo, yeah. And he kind of went under the radar, but I think this is one of, like many other in this film, this is one of his best, if not his best performance in what he offers here. I really liked his character and what he brought to the story. So fantastic performances all around.
He's definitely a good. I mean, she didn't get much. I wouldn't say as much screen time, but like you said, it's so stacked that you're like everyone's just popping up. Like Mia Goth was in there.
Oh, too. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, I forgot about her.
And she didn't get a lot to really say anything, but still, it's just like, oh, she's here, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then we had Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita, dude. Oh, I love
She was great. She had 2 roles, which I didn't even know about that. I thought that was really great.
Helen of Troy and Helen's sister. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was a nice little surprise. And honestly, for all the controversy that came from it, I thought Elliot Page for very small role that he had, I thought did great. I was like, okay, and especially what the character of Sinan added to the story, I really enjoyed what we got from him. So
because we'll get into that too when it comes up.
Right. So fantastic performances all around. The story, like I said, I talked about earlier, it's a very emotional story about a whole lot. It's such a multi-layered story. You obviously have, the journey of the Odyssey with Odysseus and his crew after the battle at Troy. him trying to get home that spans over 20 years. I mean, it is just so epic and grand in scale. While you have that going on, you have the story back at Ithaca, with Anne Hathaway, with Tom Holland, with Robert Pattinson, where Robert Pattinson and his group of goons, I'll call them at this point, are basically just sucking up all of the resources. The resources, doing nothing, taking advantage of the queen, all in an attempt to convince her to marry one of them, which I'm like, that's like a horrible way to go about it in my eyes. But like, you guys want to convince her to marry someone because Odysseus is never coming back. Well, you guys are doing a shit job at convincing her that any of you are worthy of marrying her.
I realized in this, I know it's like a story from way back, of course, like the way it's told and everything. So whatever that could have been was probably what they would have done. But it's like, there's not an instance where at those dinner scenes that none of them ever went up to like at least talk to her or anything.
Right.
It's just, they're just drinking wine and like
eating and like bullshitting and
bullshitting. So it's
beating
like
up like homeless people, basically. I'm like,
I know,
okay,
it's like, why would anyway,
why would she want to marry any of these guys? It's ridiculous. So you got that going on, and then obviously in the middle of it, we're cutting back and forth from like the story of the Odyssey with Odysseus is very much told out of order. It's not in order. It jumps back and forth pretty constantly because the whole storyline with Charlize Theron is that he had forgotten about what was going on. There was reasons for that, and he's kind of just trying to remember. So you're kind of going on that journey with him to remember everything that happened.
Yeah.
And that's what worked so well about the story for me. That's like the strongest thing about this movie is that it's so multi-layered. And because of the way that he chose to tell the story that way, it sets things up in the beginning of the movie that by the time you get to the third act, get paid off in such an emotionally satisfying way. That thinking back, like in the moment of the movie, I've heard people complain and say that like the first, hour or so takes a little bit of time to get going. I didn't agree with that personally as I was watching it. And I'm curious how it plays out when I watch it again on Wednesday. I think it's actually going to make the movie better on a rewatch because I think all those things were all set up early on. And then once you get the payoff and you realize kind of what this story actually is, it's just so much more satisfying, and it just feels where it naturally was going.
He's a interesting. Well, he's always been an interesting director, but in particular, I think the story of Odyssey, the way he got to tell it was it really benefited to the way he tells stories since they're usually not linear, like non-linear stories. And I think in this case, it worked out maybe the best. I think out of all of them. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
because there's certain. And again, it's hard to go into things without going into spoilers. You know what? Let's just put it up here. Let's just go into spoilers here at this point.
We can get into spoilers. Yeah.
The reveals, obviously, that you get at the end of the film, right, about how he feels about the war at Troy, kind of recontextualizes the entire movie. Because in the entire movie, you just think that this is a man trying to go home. And really, it's not. This is a man who is trying to struggle with some of the atrocities that he committed, when he thought he was doing something good.
Exactly.
So I thought that was just so masterful. Like, it made for such an emotional and poignant ending, particularly the scene where he hasn't revealed himself yet and he's talking to Penelope.
Yeah.
And he goes into this whole monologue about like, oh, well, what if the Odysseus that you knew is no longer? And he goes on this whole explanation of what happened. That moment, I was like welling up. Like I almost cried. It was so emotional. And I was like, wow, this is it just recontextualizes the whole movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing too is that, Zendaya's playing Athena and you're like, why is she showing up so often to him? And to find out that she was like a Trojan priestess or a young Trojan priestess.
So a lot, and it's not very clear in the movie, and a lot of people have had like different interpretations of what that actually meant. A lot of people thought that Athena was taking the form of that girl because that was kind of the moment that Odysseus realized what they were doing was horrible and just not good.
I think that would be the only, to me, and only
Right.
interpretation, just because she wants him to know like what he had done, and that's kind of like what
Right.
reminded him of that atrocity
Right.
going forward. So you're like wondering, because there's no reason otherwise. Zendaya could have just been Athena, regardless. It didn't need to be that.
Right.
She was like this Troy priestess, but to find out that she was slain that way at Troy was why he's like seeing her. It's almost like a, what do you call that? Like a ghost that's like kind of just reminded you of your past doings in some way, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Coming back to haunt him, essentially.
Exactly, haunting him, yes.
They manifested that with Zendaya and with her being that character.
I will say, there hasn't been memes necessarily yet, but me and my friends were kind of laughing when she would just like nod.
Yeah.
But it works. But
it does.
It's kind of
and again, I think that's something that when you look back on it, like you're not in the moment when it's happening. You're like, why is she like doing this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is she being a kind of like a disapproving mom at this point? You know, in the way she's acting towards him.
And now
then you find that out at the end, and you're like, oh, like it just recontextualizes every moment in his journey leading up until that point.
Yeah, and which only benefits from being non-linear, so you could see that till the end.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know,
because you would have been spoiled, right? Like it would have right in the first act of the movie. It was the first thing that happened, basically.
Exactly.
You know, you would have known right away. So yeah, like that's why I say I would say that this script-wise, I think this is one of the best scripts. And it's hard to say that when he's like copying stuff. Like this is an adaptation.
Yeah.
But the things that he added, I think were so it took a story that was so iconic and stands the test of time and turns it into something into his own that I think is just so rich and emotional and complex. So I love that. Anything like spoiler wise, when it comes to like plot moments that you want to add and you want to talk about, we'll open the floor here.
Well, you know, me and you are big horror guys. I think we just need to get into it outright.
All right, let's go in order.
Yeah, we could go in order. The first one,
the Cyclops scene.
The Cyclops, yeah.
I'll let you lead.
All practical. That Cyclops, if you go into the movie thinking it's CGI, it's not. It's a big puppet that they use, and just the whole like the scenario of being trapped in a cave with that thing and just trying to kill you, but also trying to be like you can't see it very well, but also you're in the dark and it can't get to you necessarily. It's a very odd
moves quietly too. Like it's not really a thing where it's like, you know, big like stomps and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's quiet, stealthy when it's a fucking giant. Like it was crazy.
And Christopher Nolan, I mean, this is in the story, I believe, too, but it does humanize it too, because both with it aggressively eating some of the soldiers, but also caring for its flock of sheep. You know what I mean? It's very odd, right?
Letting them out every day. Yeah.
It's very interesting that way. But no, like visually and like the atmosphere around that whole scene was like a horror fan's dream, and I was enthused the whole time watching that. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Oh, yeah, I agree with everything you said. You know, that was obviously it was revealed in the trailer. Like they had shown that scene, essentially, the Cyclops was and everything. And I didn't know how to feel about it when I saw it. I was like, I don't really know. I just didn't know what to expect going into it. And I had heard about the horror sequences in this film and how that was a standout. So when we got to that moment, I'm like, oh, this is one of them. I'm like, I locked in. I did like the sitting forward. I was like, oh, we're doing it. We're doing a Chris Nolan fucking horror sequence. Let's go, baby. And that was all that was running through my mind. Oh, this guy needs to make a horror film like right now.
Yeah.
And then, we won't jump forward. He does an even better scene later on in the movie, which I thought was even more effective when it came to scares and everything like that. But I didn't know about the practicality of the Cyclops, that was entirely practical, but it also was performed by a person.
Yeah,
it was a mix. It was the practical big giant, and then there was actually a human performance behind it.
And he voiced the Cyclops because it only had like a few lines when it was whispering to itself. That guy that performed it also
did that. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that kind of adds to the element, like you said, where there was a little bit of a human edge to the
Mhm.
Cyclops, in the way, like you said, he was eating these people, but then also was like, had a whole herd of sheep and was taking care of them. So that was really cool. This was also the moment in my head where I was like, this is one of the greatest IMAX experiences I've ever had in my life. When
Mhm.
it let out that scream, I have never heard a sound like that in a movie theater. Like, I was shaking, like in the way, like my body, like I felt it in my bones. The
Mhm.
audio was so well. And I will say that's one thing kind of I lean a little bit mixed negative on. I felt like the sound editing in the film had some problems at some moments. I felt there was other moments it was done really great. Other moments I didn't really know what was going on. I couldn't really hear or clarify anything. I think that's a Nolan issue, though. In general, I've had that problem with a couple of his films.
Yeah, there's been
Um,
a few. I mean, the
yeah,
most notable is Tenet, of
Tenet.
course.
Oh, that was the worst one. Yeah,
But
and
but
honestly, even with Oppenheimer, I had some problems too. I think
okay.
it's a more recent issue than a whole career thing with
Oh
Nolan.
yeah. Like because I
Um,
watched the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't think I've ever had
yeah,
issues. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think there was any issues with that. But yeah, that scene was so effective
Oh
in
yeah.
how and just the way that it like took it seemed like it took place over a couple of days,
Oh
really, where
yeah.
they had to stay in the cave
Mhm.
because they kept getting locked back in. He only opened it to let out the sheep. Many men were lost. I
Mhm.
love how too after they get out, Odysseus makes a boneheaded decision for what
I
reason.
yeah.
He was just kind of angry, right, at
Mhm.
having to go through all that and losing men.
I
That
think specifically when it spit out part of the soldier's
the
helmet.
helmet, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He then
Yeah.
like looked back like, oh, you mother.
He's like, "You damn it." Like, almost
Yep,
like
like
like, he thinks in a way taunting when I know it's
right.
not necessarily that, it's
I mean, it
just
could have been right. It could have
or
like he could have.
yeah, it could have been
You never
too, but
know. Like I said, I think there was a little bit of a more human element to the Cyclops, so that could have been it. And then you get that fantastic sequence on the beach
oh,
where the Cyclops
man.
runs after them, and they really got to go, and they're losing more men and everything there. So I thought that was great. And then yeah, so if you want to go into the second horror scene, you can kind of kick
Uh,
off, and we'll go from there.
yeah, so after that, I mean, this whole thing is just, like, most of the parts go through Odysseus and his crew just going to different places, coming across different people, and one of them is, this, island of those giants that they
Yeah,
come across, but, I mean, the part that we wanna get into is that I think the character's name
Cersei.
Cersei,
Yeah,
and her witchcraft upon some of the guys that come in to start eating,
yeah.
and dude, the the body horror of
Oh
that
my
scene
god.
was incredible. It was insane. The stretching of the
Oh
mouth and making them into
yeah.
like animalists, like just the way it was just they were distorting their like body
Yeah.
and making them move that
Oh
way, and it reminded me of like sort of the practical effects you'd see in like like an old Evil Dead film with some of
yeah.
those like
Yeah.
creatures that they would do, or Deadites, I mean, and then
Right.
very like some things like in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice or something like that. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
like the
Oh
faces, the snouts and stuff.
yeah.
That's oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. I love that. I thought that was even more effective than the Cyclops scene.
Hmm.
Um, I loved the conversation, like after she turns them into the pigs, that her and Odysseus have at the table about, basically these men are pigs in general.
Yeah,
You can try to save them and try to redeem them. They just want to go home, is all he says. But it's like, no, at heart, they're not great men, right? And,
yeah,
and Odysseus, and again, recontextualized by that ending, Odysseus is obviously he's battling with what they did and
yeah,
how they took out that whole civilization, but his men aren't having that same struggle. And I think
yeah,
that just goes to show how good of a man Odysseus is, that even though he knows what they did was horrible, he still tries to redeem them at every possible chance that he can.
yeah,
Loses some of their lives in the meantime, but
yeah.
how much of that was fate, everything
It,
like that. Um,
and I mean, to be fair, they're running across very weird mythical sort of creatures and stuff. It's kind of hard for me to like tell the men, hey, you were never gonna get it. We were probably not gonna not lose a few of you in the
Right,
process. You know?
right, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that's a lot of them probably expected that. That wasn't anything that was a surprise. They probably went into this journey knowing that we couldn't, we could possibly not make it, right?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious if how much of that was practical. The turning the people into the pigs. I mean, I know they had to obviously do some type of trickery, right? Like,
yeah, I could tell some scenes look more practical than others, because I think some of them looked like the way she would touch the skin on them looked like it was some practical. Some of it, the way some of the transformation might have happened, had a little bit probably CGI, but it's very hard to tell since they also cut it to make it not be.
They did a lot of trickery with the camera angles and the work that they did there, and they didn't want to. I know if it was Nolan's decision, they went as practical as they possibly could have, right? They might have used a little bit of digital effects after the fact to make it work fully, but that was I was uncomfortable watching.
Yeah,
it was like, this is bad. And even the way the scene played out, where he's hunting, I think it was a deer.
Yes.
And then that turned into a person, and the realization, oh no, they're all in there with her. Oh, what's gonna happen? The way it played out, I just thought it was masterful.
Which is funny, because I like to realize, or I like to think now on it, that he's kind of diving into different sorts of horror in this movie with the creature feature, the sort of witchcraft body horror aspect or genre, I guess, and going forward, I guess there's one other one that I think is kind of horror-esque, but it's not as full horror as these two were. But yeah.
What scene was that?
I thought that so when they were out at sea, when the waves and the water was just the most rough it's ever been, I just think the pitch black darkness with the flashing lightning and just that whole scene, I could play it as being a little bit of a sort of horror in the sense of just
disaster horror.
Yeah, something like that.
That was another example, that scene, of the sound for IMAX.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I feel like I am on the ship with Odysseus right now trying to fucking fight these waves. It was the sound in that moment was just incredible. That just keeps going back to the utilization of IMAX that he did with this film was on another level. Nothing better there. So we're talking spoilers, standout scenes. That third act reveal, the way they built that up, where he doesn't just go straight home and reveal himself. He plans. He doesn't even tell his son that it's him. He doesn't tell Penelope. He tells no one.
Yeah.
And then when you finally get that moment where she comes out, and this wasn't even planned either. That was a subtle detail that everything that people have kind of missed about that third act reveal. He even says it to Tom Holland's character. He's like, well, how are you going to have a weapon? When you reveal, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And he's like, Penelope will do it. And they didn't know that she was going to do the test with the bow. And I loved that. I loved that detail. I was like, oh, she knew. She knew something was going on. And that scene where everyone's trying to do it. Robert Pattinson has this whole speech about how no one can ever be him. No one's going to be able to do it. He comes in. He fucks with him too. And he acts like he can't do it, and then all of a sudden, and then he pulls the thing, and it does the dong with him pulling the bow. Oh, such a great moment! And then he just starts, killing everybody, and we get the
goes ballistic.
Ballistic.
I
will say, if we're gonna say again, my second little gripe I had with the film. Nolan's not the best at hand-to-hand combat filming it, I think, and you felt that. Everything else in the film was done really well, but the hand-to-hand fight scenes that we got at the end, I was like, okay.
Yeah, because
wasn't the best.
As much as I love the Dark Knight trilogy, those are some movies that could have benefited from some better fighting choreography, because it's a lot of elbow.
It's a lot of that. Yeah.
It's a lot of elbow.
I'm always dropping my phone.
It works for what it is, but that I agree. It could have been better.
It could have been better.
The direction for fighting for Nolan is a little bit rough sometimes, but I think I could kind of get over it more here than sometimes in
100%.
Night, just because it's medieval, or not medieval. It's old Greek.
Yeah, where they weren't like trained like how people are in the modern years of the world. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
right. But I will say it didn't matter for me. Like
No.
even though I didn't love the choreography that they had with the fight scenes. That moment was so carried by the story and what they were telling. I didn't care. Nothing about it bothered me. Yeah, Jesus, we've already been talking about this for 40 minutes, and I could probably go another hour and a half. Any other standout moments that you had in the film?
Well, in this scene in particular, that was part of the scene that I was getting at with Robert Pattinson, that I liked, that he was just kind of like, "Go get them, fools!"
Oh yeah!
Oh
my God!
Yeah, and be like, "Go get him!" And I'm like, "He's such a Weasley little."
You're such a weasel. Yeah.
Well, that was part of the
and that was his character, right? The whole movie, he was scheming, he was manipulating behind people's backs. Like even with he had the relationship with Mia Goth's character, and she was basically like the spy, for Queen Penelope for him, right? Like she was feeding him all that information. So I will say, like as a schemer, he was great. I actually thought he was a great villain. He was doing a lot of things really well, but when push came to shove, and Odysseus was back, he was a coward, and I thought that was so fitting for the character that we had learned, because even when you find out, and we talked about this before with the Sinon character, that it was supposed to be him. He was supposed to go, and he was so scared. And he kept telling that story about how, Odysseus didn't want him to go and everything like that, when that wasn't the truth. That immediately set like the stage, because that was pretty early in the film. That set the stage and told you what type of character his villain was going to be.
Yeah,
and I just love that. I thought it was so good.
I love the like when. Well, I guess when he was like confronting him, and then he threw him that little whatever it was, the little piece of wood or whatever, and then he's like, "Where did you get this? Where did you get this?" And it's like, well,
I think he realized in that moment, he's like, "Oh shit, this isn't a random beggar," So
no. Are you a god? Are you a god?
That whole third act. Like I said, just everything it accomplished. I think that's the best third act of any of Nolan's films. And like I said, I love Interstellar. I love The Dark Knight. I love Batman Begins. I like Inception. I thought that was good.
I like The Prestige's third act. Really,
The Prestige is the only Nolan film I've never seen.
Oh, it's pretty.
I've heard it's great though. Yeah, I've heard it's great. I'm gonna check it out.
You might kind of, I don't know how you're gonna feel, but man, you're gonna hopefully lose your shit about like, what the hell?
At the third act, that's what I've been told. Yeah. And I've never read any spoilers or anything on it. I've been able to avoid it. So
that's good to go in blind for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be soon. I think they're re-releasing that movie. I thought I heard that.
No,
I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that. So that might be one I go check out in the theater for the first time.
And of course, I'm a big Memento guy myself. Yes, and I love Memento's ending and how that all ravels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I would say I think there's a debate. I won't say definitively yet. That's maybe the part that I'm gonna back off a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the best third acts though of a Nolan film. I think the way it plays out, it was.
It's definitely up there for me. Yeah. I definitely think it's one of his best ones. So there's no debate against that from me. So
I don't think I have anything else when it comes to like specific spoiler scenes. I mean, I probably do. I'll think back once we ended the stream and be like, oh, I should have brought this up. I always do that, but let me just look at my notes to kind of look at what we didn't talk about. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much have mentioned everything here. I mean, the controversy about Lupita Nyong'o and Elliot Page, I think we can say that's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Not talking about the movie specifically, but it's so stupid. I mean, they have both of them in total have like 5 minutes of screen time. I mean, it's so stupid. And honestly, it's just a bunch of grifters trying to get hate views and hate clicks on their channels. Otherwise, what was a fantastic film.
And even them with little screen time they had, again, I still think they put on.
They were great.
Fantastic. Like great. Elliot Page, especially.
Fantastic. Yeah. It was good. So yeah, we'll kind of wrap up then. Thoughts on that.
Mhm.
Like I said, this is my movie of the year so far.
Yeah.
I didn't think Obsession would get dethroned so early, but
I mean,
here we are.
just wait too. You got Dune Part 3 coming up too.
Yeah,
so.
that was kind of the one I had been circling like all year after seeing Obsession. I was like, it would probably be Dune 3 if it was going to be anything. Because truthfully, we didn't really talk about expectations, but like I didn't have that high of expectations for this movie.
No,
Like there was nothing about the trailers that like really wowed me in general. So to be as positive as I am on this film after seeing it, I think it's a testament to how good it is.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I don't hate Greek mythology. I just never particularly find it to be something I gravitate towards, and he just made me care so much about it. So that's why I'm like, that's why it's like a triumph for like what this movie is. So.
Yeah. And I saw a meme where it was like, me dressing up as Odysseus now for Halloween because the Odyssey is my personality, and I'm like, that might be me this Halloween, to be honest. But yeah, fantastic film. I mean, like I said, I can't wait to see it again. I'm going on Wednesday.
I think I probably will be seeing it too again. Probably with my sibling, my sister. I'll probably be seeing that with them. Just because I'll try to see it with people that haven't seen it, just to be like,
get that reaction.
Yeah.
I always love doing that when like there's a movie I love, and then I see it with someone who hasn't seen it, but I have. So like I know, what's coming, obviously. Mm-hmm. That's such a great experience. Although it could bite you in the ass if they don't like it. That's why I think when it's like, oh, well, that sucks. I wish you would have liked it as much.
But I'm sure this is the one where I feel like it'll surprise people, even if they're not really into the concept. They'll be like, wow, that was
because I'm that person, right? Like this wasn't a style of movie that I would have technically gravitated towards before seeing it, but after seeing it, I'm like, oh man, that was something else.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll move on, to the biggest news of the day. The Doomsday trailer dropped online. I'm going to go ahead and switch up the article that we have here on the screen.
Just for us to cover, they knew we were wanting to make her talk about on the show today.
Right, yeah. I mean, if the Odyssey didn't come out this weekend, this probably would have been the first topic that we played with. So obviously it was a double news thing with that. Tickets went on sale for premium large format tickets for this movie. And then they also dropped the trailer. Before I get into the trailer, though, I did want to talk about the ticket situation for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's obviously been debate on whether or not this movie was going to move because it wasn't going to get any IMAX screens due to the fact that Dune already had that locked in and they're releasing at the same time. Marvel came out with this Infinity Vision, which when they announced it, I assumed was going to be a new premium large format, right?
Mm-hmm.
To my surprise, I go and look at the tickets that went on sale this morning and see that it is attached to every other premium large format that already exists, like Dolby Cinema, like Cinemark XD, like AMC XL. That was entirely a marketing scheme. There's nothing new about Infinity Vision that's any different than any of those other premium large formats.
Well, I mean, it's because it says Infinity in front of...
Right. Hey, so remember that movie we released, 8 years ago? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yeah. So that I was kind of like, all right, well, that's, marketing, I guess.
I kind of figured from the beginning because I'm like, there's no way just because... whatever theaters established already have their premium formats are not going to just bring in a new premium format out of nowhere. I was
going to say, unless they got the scoop that like AMC was opening, a couple hundred theaters across the country, and that was what they were going to open Infinity Vision in. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
But yeah, so I was like, and then it was weird too, because it's not like they're charging more for the tickets. Like my tickets are the same. That they would have been for a regular XD as opposed to this Infinity Vision XD. So
it's just they called it a premium format, large format. It guarantees an exceptional cinematic experience, including extra large screens, which is like, again,
every premium large format that exists. So like, okay,
I don't know what they're trying to get at, but whatever.
Yeah. So the trailer came out. They also dropped this poster here that I have on the screen that I think is beautiful. And it looks great.
Very Doom. Yeah. I like
Yeah,
it.
very much so. I think there's a big plot detail at the top here, which looks to be
Mm-hmm.
a mother and their child, which, there's been rumors about Doom's motivation in this film being because he
Yeah.
lost his family. We
That
won't get into that. I don't like to get into leaks publicly like
no.
that.
But I will say that is something from the comic books though.
Yeah,
So
yeah, right, right.
that will be a good motivator. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that trailer dropped. I have confirmed from people who were in attendance in CinemaCon, it is the same exact trailer that dropped a couple months ago at CinemaCon. So no like new footage that we haven't heard about, because people obviously reported the descriptions and everything like that at that time. So we'll kind of just start pulling up some of these tidbits here. We're gonna pull up the money shot here.
Oh.
I know you had sent me a video. I didn't have enough time to be able to pull it up. I was already kind of loaded and ready to go. But we'll talk about this moment in the trailer, where you have Thor ready to go at Doom, does the whole big shebang. He's fully lit up. He does the lightning, comes down with Stormbreaker, and Doom stops him with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Stormbreaker was a weapon, mind you, that went through a blast from all 6 Infinity Stones from Thanos and then pierced Thanos in the chest.
Yeah.
Holy shit, they are going full God Emperor Doom with this version of Doctor Doom because like this is by far the most powerful Doom we've ever seen in live action.
I think so.
And it's not even close. I mean, because those 2 we got from
those are very underpowered compared to this
guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this is like when people try to poke you in the eye and he just puts his fingers there to stop you from poking you in the eyes. He's like, no. People, I'm sorry, not from the people we know personally, but other people online, to me, undersold the insane
nature of this.
The nature of this was so undersold. I think this got talked, in my opinion, less than anything in the trailer, and I was like, this is like this freaked me the hell out. Like
2 fingers.
2 fingers. It was like
I could have swore, maybe I'm wrong, and I just didn't see it at the time. But I could have swore they said he just stopped it when they gave the description of the trailer.
There was different reports about whether it was 2 fingers, one hand, and all this and that.
Well, I will admit, in the moment, I actually didn't notice it the first time.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I saw like pictures and people saying it online. I think you were actually the first one because you messaged me like he snapped it with 2 fingers. I'm like, what? And I went back and looked and I'm like, oh my God, he did. It happens fast. So like, honestly, I don't even fault people at CinemaCon for not noticing it because, well, for one, in CinemaCon, people don't even have their phones. It's not like you could take notes on what you saw. So it's like everyone just trying to recall what they had saw. So I don't blame anyone, but yeah, that was just such a moment where, that was like, wow, this guy is crazy. And I've heard some people, and I don't know if we're at the point where people just want to complain about Marvel in general. I've heard some people say that this trailer didn't do a good job at like establishing why Doctor Doom is such a powerful villain. And I'm like, that's literally what this scene was for, because he's going up against Thor. This is not fucking. I'm sorry, but this is not like Yelena or anything. This is Thor. Like,
I think that clip I sent you kind of encapsulates exactly what you just said. Was like, Stormbreaker can go through the blast of 6 Infinity Stones, which is literally like at the time in the Marvel universe the most powerful thing in the universe.
Yeah.
And now for Doom just to like stop it with 2 fingers, it's like that's pretty much just telling of how insanely like OP this guy is. Man.
Right. And obviously, we don't have the context of the movie, so we don't know when this takes place in the film. I'm hoping it's not early on.
I hope so too. Obviously, I hope it's like maybe middle or close.
I'm hoping it's like third act. I hope it's like
third act.
Because again, it's hard for me to talk on this because I divulge into leaks. I divulge into those things.
That's fine. It's
no. I'm not going to say it here, but like I'm saying, I know personally like what's happening, and I think. If you've read any of the leaks, this trailer kind of confirms that they are real.
Okay.
I'll say that I know how we get here, how he gets this powerful.
Okay.
I'm very curious, though, as to really how it plays out. Because, like, obviously we only have broad descriptions out there of what happens. There's still details to be ironed out of how we get here.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this is in the last act of the movie, though. That's
It would
what
be
I'll say.
it would be a great third act if it is. I hope
Right.
it is as well. Plus, I mean, I know based on comic books is that they're probably adapting Secret Wars for the 2015 Secret Wars, which has Doom
Yes.
putting the multiverse into a pocket, making
Mhm.
it one, and
Battle
then
World.
making
Yeah.
Battle World.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine that's what this is gonna kind of
Right.
lead towards.
Yeah. But yeah, I was and the voice
Oh,
of Robert Downey.
sorry. No hate to anybody from CinemaCon because again, you don't have your phones, you can't remember every precise detail. But
Right.
man, he does a way better accent than I thought that people were saying.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. Like at first, it didn't even click in my head that it was
didn't
him.
even sound like him.
Right. I was like, wait, is that Downey? I'm like, wait a minute, no way. I'm like, this. I was thinking this was just a character that was maybe we didn't know about that was describing what was happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, that's Downey. I'm like, no, what? And then once I like replayed it back, I was like, okay, I can hear it. Like that's definitely Downey, but like he's doing a great job at masking himself. And like that's the thing for me. So when this was announced that it was going to be Downey as Doctor Doom, my biggest concern was, is this just going to be Tony Stark as a villain? Like, are we not going to actually get the true Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Are we just going to get Tony Stark as Doctor Doom?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we're getting here.
No,
and so, like, when I watched this trailer and, like, people are like, oh, this disappointed me. And I'm like, well, it took everything that you were complaining about.
What the fuck?
It took everything that you were complaining about and actually gave you the answer that you wanted.
I hate the internet, man.
Right. And I'm like, that's why I'm like, I feel like people are just trying to complain. To complain.
Yeah.
Now, look,
yeah.
If you want to have a conversation and you want to say, hey, the CGI didn't look too great here, I ain't gonna argue with you on that. There was definitely some shots in this trailer I wasn't a fan of. I was like, okay, that looks a little wonky. I'll be clear.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of a bad faith discussions that are happening right now around this movie particularly.
Yeah, I could see though. I mean, I think the individual hate of specific things from the trailer or for the movie, I could see. I don't really feel like are as warranted, but I feel like if you're kind of someone coming from the side of being like, well, this is kind of like a rush job from Marvel because from what they originally were planning, this is very much of last resort being like, no, guys, okay, we need to figure out what we're gonna do. We'll do Doom. Right.
Yeah.
You know, coming up after Kang's whole debacle.
Him leaving the role.
Him leaving a role, and also because of Quantumania kind of underperforming as well as not having a good Kang to continue on from there. I mean, I knew that wasn't going to be the main Kang, but like still, that's not the.
Well, I think they shot themselves in the foot when they did Quantumania post-credit scene. And every single one was Jonathan Majors. It's like, okay, you know, if they wouldn't have done that, they could have at least maybe recasted and did Kang still, but as somebody else, right?
You don't have to tell me, especially since you know leaks and stuff. I just hope that it'd be still addressed in some way.
That I will just say it. The leaks don't say that, whether or not that's addressed. So I imagine if it does get addressed, it's going to be very brief and not at all like a scene. Like I don't think it would be like some people have theorized that like Doom's gonna kill Kang in the opening of the movie, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's happening.
I think that's too it's too, I don't know, it just feels a little odd to do it like that.
Right.
I imagine what they're gonna end up doing is maybe like I heard people say Ant-Man could just bring up that he fought somebody that was pretty powerful and just be like, but this guy's insane.
This guy's even worse, right?
Right. I just I don't know about you, but I personally do kind of hate the thing where not for the reason like I kind of agree that, you know, Jonathan what he had did and everything, so I understand not wanting him back, but I still wish they would write in some like way to resolve that, you know, because it was still a big plot line, you know. So
well, and people kind of talk about the lead up to Infinity War and how little of Thanos that we got. And that's true. But, I agree. Like you didn't really get a lot of them. It was his presence, though. His presence was looming.
Yeah.
But the fact of it is we got much more set up for Jonathan Majors Kang than we ever did for Thanos. So it was never going to be a good situation, regardless. There was never really going to be a easy way to move forward. So Look, if you, again, like you said, if you want to have a conversation and say, hey, I don't like the direction they're going here, this feels like a rush job. I mean, look, this movie could still be bad. I mean, I'm not fully 100% like, hey, this movie's going to be great. No, this definitely could be bad. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying what we got here and what this trailer presented is everything I was looking for personally. So, and a lot of that stuff was what I was worried about, because I was, like I said, I was very worried, like, is this just going to be Tony Stark as a villain? That's addressed here. Who's in the movie? The teams? Okay, we can have a conversation about if this was the best team to assemble for this film. Fine. I'm in the camp that I think there's more characters in the movie. I'll say that. And again, what I've read, I believe there are more characters in this movie.
I believe too, and I think I've read some of the same
stuff.
You
probably read some of the stuff too. Which, again, some of that was confirmed in this trailer. I will say that. So if it's the same thing, you're probably right. So let me pull up some other images here.
For sure.
Because I had multiple screenshots from the trailer. I'm not going to play the trailer just because I don't want to get copyrighted.
No.
Sorry, real quick. I will play this little clip.
We could do that.
Yep. Boom. It was so good. So good.
And then just Downey through his mask with his eyes looking at it. My God.
And when I saw Downey, like, I was like, oh, those are Downey's eyes. I was like, I love that they're, like I said, I wanted to see him in the mask too. Like, I don't want it to be a situation where Dr. Doom's just walking around with the green hood and we're seeing that it's Tony Stark. And I will say, I think that's going to play, I don't even think it's going to play into a factor in this movie about them. Let's just say if there's a situation where they need to trust Doom, I was worried that was why they casted Robert, was because then he'll just rip off the mask and he looks like Tony Stark, and now all of a sudden people are going to trust him.
Yeah, just like how Steve Rogers is like, hey, pal, and that's kind of like how it would go, kind of.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I was worried that was going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen now. I think he is going to be in the mask the almost majority of this movie. And he's going to have to earn that trust another way, and not the way that we originally thought. Which, again, that makes me feel better about the casting, because then that makes me think, okay, it's not just a stunt casting. It's not Tony Stark as the villain. But I digress.
And just a little bit on that too is that I do think that we're more in the camp. I think we're more in the realm now of that. This isn't like a Tony Stark that turned evil. This is still just Victor Von Doom.
It's Victor Von Doom, right?
It is kind of a variant in a way, just because presumably he will just have the face, but it's not. It's kind of like people brought up the situation where Chris Evans plays Human Torch and Captain America.
Right, exactly.
That's how it is.
Well, and then let's. And I know this one's a little bit different just because of who the character is and where he comes from, but I don't know his name. Eben Moss. Bachrach or whatever, who plays the Thing.
Oh yeah.
He played Micro in The Punisher. So right. Like,
I forgot about that.
There is precedent in this universe where different characters look like the same person.
Exactly.
So I don't think there needs to be a reason that he looks like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I do think at some point, and probably in Secret Wars, we're going to get a moment where he takes the mask off and I'll be honest, I think it's going to be with Tom Holland. I think that's going to be the moment, and we're going to get Mr. Stark. Right, yeah. I think we're going to get that, and I think they're doing that intentionally, but
I hope they deliver just like that too. Mr. Stark?
That's what, right. I think it's exactly how it's going to play out. But,
awesome.
I just, again, I feel more reassured after this trailer than I did before. So let's go through these real quick. Sorry, we keep.
No, you're good. Let's get into this.
We get this picture of Loki, which we knew he was going to be in this film. I find it very interesting that he's obviously not on the throne, where we left him off in Loki season 2. So I think that kind of tells you time-wise how this movie is going to play out.
The scene here too. I think the curtains people indicated it could be that he's with Steve. Maybe?
Yeah. Again. Not going to comment on that. Just
no.
I know things, but yes,
we're just observing.
Yes, these are observations from the trailer. Correct.
Yeah.
And then so let's move on here. We get this little fight scene between Shang-Chi and Gambit, which that's a very sorry.
Interesting.
That's a pair that I never thought I would see live action on screen. So I thought that was cool. Clearly, obviously, there's going to be some type of confrontation here. going on between the X-Men and the Avengers, which I'll scroll up to that one.
Ooh,
we have the Mystique and Yelena going at it, where she turns into Yelena.
Like, she's very comic accurate, but I'll be honest, I still don't care for the hair, but whatever.
I think the CGI looks terrible. Not in the like her switching to Yelena. I think that actually looks good. But like when it's just Mystique right there, I'm like, ooh, that doesn't look great for me.
Could be better. Maybe it'll get polished a little bit more before.
Right. Obviously, we got the money shot here, the reuniting. I yelped when I saw this moment in the trailer. The hey pal, and he's like, it's not possible. And then he puts up Mjolnir to kind of like test him. Be like, all right, if you're actually Steve, grab it. He grabs it. Then they give each other a smile, and I thought that was great. I like seeing this.
It would be funny if like Thor's like, "Are you going to help us fight?" And he's like, "No, I don't think I will."
Right?
He's like, "I don't think so."
Great, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
What was the? These aren't leaks or anything. I keep seeing people talk about the Hydra thing, and I'm just so confused.
Yes, there is. There's a rumor that he is. This is not the Cap that we think it is. Like this is not the 616 Cap that we know, and we went through that entire time with. They're basically saying that this is a variant Hydra Cap who is actually in cahoots with Doctor Doom.
Which would be funny to have him still be worthy of the hammer.
Which like how that works out. Now we could have a scenario maybe where, because Doctor Doom obviously works in like enchantments and magic.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe that's how he, if that's true, right? Maybe that's how he pulls that off there. I tend to disagree with that though.
Yeah, I don't really like it as much. I was just thinking that.
Now, I think at some point between these two films, are we going to see a Hydra like evil version of Steve Rogers?
Oh yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I think so.
I think this version in these photos is that. No, I don't. Nah. I think this is our Steve that we know.
This is Dad Steve. Pretty.
Yeah, this is 616, like the one who went to Peggy at the end of Endgame, Steve. So I don't believe that, but yeah, I love that. That was such a great moment to leave off with at the trailer. I love the fact that it looks like Thor is like the definitive leader of this team. Like I know it's different groups that are coming together between the X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Avengers, New Avengers. It looks like Thor is the leading guy, which I love because obviously he never really got that opportunity in the original Infinity Saga because it was always Steve, it was always Tony. Yeah, so I love to see it. That made me happy.
And I think they're remedying something they did because I didn't like the last Thors very much, and I like that they're making him a little bit more serious again, making him that leader. Yes. Yeah. So not to be in that jokey.
The Love and Thunder, I know we've had mutuals that we've had conversations about those two films. I really still enjoy Ragnarok. I like Ragnarok.
I love Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder's the one.
Love and Thunder, though. That was really rough.
Ragnarok is the perfect balance for me. I just don't like Love and Thunder. It's too jokey.
Yeah. Well, and especially, too, like Love and Thunder, going back to that and like turning it up to 11 after what we got in Infinity War and Endgame, where it was like very serious and very like world-ending situations.
Yeah, because he went.
I didn't like that
stuff that I don't think he should have been acting very much like that at all.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like I'm not wanting him to be miserable entirely. It's just more like he shouldn't be. They just decare. He I don't know what Taika did, but he just kind of made him go back.
The characterization wasn't right.
Yeah.
And like even with him dealing with like Jane having cancer and stuff like that, and then you're acting this way, it was just very inconsistent movie.
But I'm glad we're getting back to this more serious, like
right. Well, and I'll give a shout out to Darius. I don't know, he's probably not watching, but I'll give a shout out to him. He's a big WWE guy like myself, and he had posted that Thor is essentially like the Drew McIntyre of the Marvel universe, and that's a very good thing. And I don't know if you know who that is, Ian, but essentially Drew McIntyre is a guy who like has the charisma, has the wrestling chops to be one of the top guys in WWE, but because there's always somebody else with a bigger name and who's more popular, he's never the top guy. And that's kind of what Thor feels like. It's like he has everything to be the leader, but it's just like you had Steve, you had Tony, who were always the guys who were just a little bit more popular that got the lead because of that.
Okay.
Obviously, Thor had a little bit more inconsistencies early on, right, of his characterization. So yeah, I'm very happy though. That's all to say. I'm very happy that Thor is
Okay.
now like kind of the leading guy, right?
And is Drew always a face? Like he's never been a
No,
heel?
he turns.
Oh, he
He's went
turns.
back and forth.
Okay.
He I think he hasn't been. He actually hasn't even been wrestling since WrestleMania, which was back in April. He's been out.
Oh.
I think he's filming. I think he's in Highlander. I don't know if you heard.
Oh,
yeah. I'm pretty
no
sure he's in
way.
that movie. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been filming that, but he was a heel pretty much for the last like 2.5 years. But he had a really big rivalry with CM Punk, which I know you probably know who that is.
I know CM Punk.
And he's so beloved by the fans that it's like he took the L. He lost. It was a trilogy, and he lost 2 of the 3. So, but that's what I mean. So it's like he's worthy. He's capable to be the leading guy. It's just there's always somebody else who's just a little bit more popular who they put the shine on. And I kind of feel like that's what it was with Hemsworth and with Thor going up against Downey and Evans. That it was like they were all like I thought he carried when he would be with them, but he just was always kind of the third guy, right? And that's kind of what Drew McIntyre is. So,
which I'm glad now we got him taking on the lead role
right here, yeah. So, and that's why I love to see it. I thought it was really good. Okay, and then so we got a couple other photos, obviously here, just basic photos. The Wakandans meeting the Fantastic Four and what looks to be some of the new Avengers there.
I see Joaquin and
that
Bucky.
Yep, we got Bucky there with his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Sue Storm, The Thing, M'Baku, Shuri. And then we got this photo here at the top at Avengers Tower, with the Fantastic Four. It looks like Ant-Man, Sam Wilson, Captain America, the full new Avengers team over there, and then Thor, which I love how Red Guardian still has that horrible suit on. I thought that was hilarious, to be honest.
Can I ask you your thoughts? I personally think that it's just a trailer. They could show more, but I still don't think that I feel like Sam's getting a little bit like he's not getting enough light at all.
He's not
supposed to be our new Captain America.
Yeah. I never thought there was going to be a scenario where he would be leading the Avengers like over Thor or anything.
No, that's fine. I just feel like in general he just isn't getting a lot of like.
Yeah. I would imagine that, when this movie, like if this would have been Kang Dynasty, if that would have came out, I think he probably would have had a bigger role. But I think with all the rewrites that happened, Brave New World is it? Is that it? Brave New World? I'm like,
Brave New World,
It's too similar to Brand New Day, so I always get them mixed up. I think that movie not being successful, they probably not cut his role, but like didn't give him as prominent of one that he probably would have had.
Yeah.
The central conflict between him and Bucky, I felt like would have been a really good route to go for like their character arcs. But I have a feeling that's going to get just glossed over here. I don't think we're going to get much of it.
That's the issue that I will say with our current state in the MCU is that we probably had more storylines to tell before Doomsday. I think there could have been another civil war that could have happened.
I agree.
I think Bucky, or not Bucky, sorry. I meant Sam from the beginning, I think because of COVID and stuff. I think The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I really love that show, but I do think that could have been a movie. And if COVID didn't happen, that movie would have been gangbusters, being like the first one out of the gate after Endgame. Just the fact that everything turned out the way it did, it just didn't work out. I
think there are a lot of projects that we can look back at in Phase 4 and say that they should have been the opposite. Like, I think Eternals would have been much, much better as a show. I think if you would have had time to go through all that, would have been much better as a show. I think, like you said, I think if Falcon and Winter Soldier would have been a movie and it would have been right after Endgame, I think that would have done much better. And I think the story that was like, I know you love Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My problem with it was it did feel stretched out, and it was only 6 episodes as it was. It wasn't even really that long, right? So like, you definitely could have cut that down, and it would have been a much more brisk, better paced film than a 6-episode miniseries. But
it's okay. I mean, we can't do anything about it, but that would have been cool.
It frustrates me too about it is, Brave New World was not a great movie. Sam and Anthony Mackie, I thought was great in it. So like, it's not. his capabilities that I think are lacking. I think it's just what they're giving him.
Yeah, it's the writing.
It's the writing.
choices,
Yeah, it's the projects that he's been in.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just be honest. I think you're doing a disservice to him as well by bringing back Chris Evans right away.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, I know that this is all kind of like throwing everything, throwing your hat, like, what do you call it? Like just throwing everything at the wall.
Putting all your tricks in the hat right away.
Yeah, tricks in all the tricks in the hat
right away. Yeah.
And I agree, because I love Sam, Captain America. I love him. I've loved him since when he got Falcon and Winter Soldier. I liked him in Brave New World. I've liked him in every appearance I've seen him in. It's just the fact that there's so little projects. Of it, and there's just not great projects for it. It MCU.
Sucks.
Yeah, MCU is not giving. Yeah. Anyway, but that's just a thing to bring up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely agree. And then this beautiful of Cyclops. Oh my god! I mean, that costume is
classic. Back to the '90s yellow spandex, man.
Yeah,
or somewhat yellow.
I feel bad that it seems, and again, it could end up not being the case. It seems as if we're finally going to get a faithful adaptation for James Marsden's Cyclops, and it's only 26 years after he first played the character. So.
I know.
Disappointing, but what can you say?
I mean, I know you and me. I like the original, like 2 original X-Men and X2, and even Last Stand, even though it's not great. It's just the fact that now it's like the world's gonna end though. It's like too bad.
Right.
Well.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Kevin,
I mean, this is clearly like the finale for those Fox X-Men characters. Like that. I think that's been Feige's goal. Is like he knows, hey, these actors were great in the roles. They didn't get proper send-offs besides Hugh Jackman, and then he still brought him back anyways. But whatever.
I mean, the rest Kevin, of them though, did that. It's true. It's very close to the heart, Kevin, since he worked on those projects, and those are their first things. He loves
wants
them
to honor them, I think. And
he loves them to a degree that most don't understand, probably. Right. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Any final thoughts though? Because I wanted to go into this last comment here by Feige before. Any final thoughts on the trailer? We're obviously both very positive on it. So,
No, I'm very positive. I definitely don't feel the way some people are complaining about it. I love everything from it. Even if we don't know how it actually will be in quality, from what I like, what I see here, I'm really pumped. So.
I am more so me in general, what I think a good trailer is before I saw the trailer, am I now more excited than I was before?
Mm-hmm.
I am 100%. I am much more, and a lot of my worries, I think, were put to bed here. I still have some. I'm not going to say everything has been wiped clean. Mm-hmm. I still am a little bit concerned with how this movie came together and how quickly it came together and how that's going to translate to the finished product. Mm-hmm. But I will say I feel better now than I did yesterday. So for me, it was successful in getting me hyped.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So I just want to talk about these comments really quickly. So Kevin Feige said he does not see the MCU having a full reboot after Avengers Secret Wars.
Okay.
He said in Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, which is that 2015 comic line that you talked about, right? Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Yes. Yeah. From 10 years ago, he did. Okay. He said I should have kept reading. There's a nice roadmap to where we can go.
Okay.
Now, I've never read that comic storyline, so maybe you can shed a little more on this. But from my understanding, they did not do a full reboot after that storyline. They kind of picked and choose what came over and what they rebooted.
Yes.
So when you hear these comments, are you surprised? Does that make you excited for what they're going to do with Secret Wars? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. It was interesting to hear him say that today, or whenever it was. But it kind of shed some light on what I was expecting, because a lot of people were saying that. I don't know where this was coming from. A lot of people kept saying, "Oh, it's like a full reset after Secret War," and I'm like, I don't know. I Yeah, I think that's what it was, because for the longest time I was like, that kind of sucks, because there's still some characters that I feel that could still remain, because we haven't gotten much of them at all.
Yeah.
Because we're getting X-Men following Secret Wars, but I was like, I mean, we were just talking about Sam, and I still think Sam has a gun in his
right. There's more to do. Yeah.
Some of the younger characters, like Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel and some of those other younger Avengers.
Shang-Chi, like
Shang-Chi, man, like that sequel should have been rushed out immediately.
That should have came out in
why.
23. That should have came out 2 years after the first one because it was good. And now I feel like it's calmed down. Like people aren't as hyped up. I don't think people are going to be as excited about a Shang-Chi sequel if they would have done it 2 or 3 years after the first one. We should have saw a Shang-Chi sequel 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
like that's insane to me. Insane.
And I think the plan was supposed to be that, but they just never did.
But then when everything got screwed up and they were doing too much early on,
yeah, and then unfortunately the director will be working on projects beyond Brand New Day, so it's gonna be hard to get him back as well. Yeah. I remember back, I don't remember when, but there was a copyright for a Shang-Chi like title. It wasn't gonna be the title probably. It was just something that Marvel will just copyright things they're planning on. Do. And I think it was something to do with time. Possibly time travel. So I would have loved to see something like that, especially with the rings and what their mystical powers are and stuff. But man, dude, because I love Shang-Chi. Like I read the comics of Shang-Chi and he's like the best martial artist in the Marvel universe.
And I mean those like hand-to-hand combat scenes in that first movie are some of the greatest in this universe that we've gotten. And I can compare it to like the ones we got in like Winter Soldier and stuff like that. So
and he's come to be like one of my favorites from our new era since an Endgame. Like, but with the one movie, it baffles me.
We need more. Like, come on, give us more, right?
So him and then Sam. It's like, guys, what are we doing, man?
Well, and I think that those characters are prime examples of just what did not work about post Endgame MCU. Is that they were doing too much, and they didn't get nearly as many hits and characters that we loved like we did in the Infinity Saga. But the ones that we did love from post like Endgame, Phase 4, 5, 6, we didn't get enough of because you guys were wasting time doing other projects that nobody really cared about. Like, so I think that's like the prime example of what just did not work about that post Endgame MCU and why we're in the situation we're in right now.
Yeah. And about the storyline, I'll give you an example of one of the people that got to remain after Secret Wars event was that Miles, funny enough, Miles Molecule Man repaid Miles for an act of kindness he did. Molecule Man put Miles and his family into the Prime universe of 616.
Yeah.
So that was something that they kept from... So effectively merging the Ultimate Universe and the core universe. So that's probably an example of what they might end up doing here, where they're probably going to maybe keep some characters like Sam, Shang-Chi, maybe some
Tom
others.
Holland, Spider-Man.
Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
For sure. Yeah.
So like those sort of characters that they probably want to do more with, they're just going to keep. So that's probably what they're going to do.
That's what I think too. But you never know. We can see. The part of that kind of makes me like, ooh, is that like, in order for that to happen, you're basically erasing a lot of the legacy characters that we all love, right? Yeah. So like, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I feel like there's a different way they're probably going to go about it. Because like that's how the MCU has been from the beginning. Is like, they adapt these storylines, but they definitely change a lot to fit within the movies and this universe. So, we'll see. I think that actually makes it better because then we can't just predict what's going to happen. Like that's the thing I hate about when people cry about like an adaptation not being faithful when it comes to comics. It's like, go read the fucking comic. It's got to be different. Like they can't just one for one adapt what the comic was.
And it's funny if anyone still complains about that because they've never done that. It's always
it's
always been
like they tweak it. They keep the core and then they change it around.
I mean, like one thing, the most apparent like sort of storyline was like Civil War. That played out nothing like the
comics. Yeah.
But like who cares? That's just supposed to be their own interpretation.
It was still a great movie.
Exactly.
So,
who cares?
Yeah. So so that was kind of the last thing there. So obviously a lot of Marvel stuff that happened. I got my tickets. I know you said you did as well.
I did too,
for Doomsday. Yeah. So I was smart, and for Brand New Day, and I only knew this because I was paying attention when Brand New Day tickets came out. They said 9 a.m., but then the tickets actually dropped like a half hour early.
Ooh, okay.
So I didn't work today because I'm going to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I woke up. I knew it was dropping at 9. I woke up at 8:30 though. I was like, you know what? Let me wake up 30 minutes early and let's see if those tickets are live. Pulled up Fandango. They were already good to go. I was like, I knew it. I'm like, they do. I think they do that probably to like control the traffic, like maybe not have it be as overwhelming when it goes live. But when I picked my tickets, though, there was no one there, and I looked about an hour ago at my current screening, damn near sold out. So
mine too for the whole probably the next the Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. Yeah,
right.
And you know, the funny thing too is that AMC, their app, even if you don't, let's say you don't even want to get tickets for Doomsday,
they put you in a queue. Yeah,
they still made you wait.
Yeah,
you're like, what the fuck? I just wanted to see it.
Do you imagine the person who has no idea that the Doomsday tickets were going on sale, and they were just like, "Oh, I want to go to a Monday matinee," and they're like, "I can't buy my tickets. What the hell?
What the hell, man? I wanted to see the invite, and now
right, and now I'm in line to get Doomsday tickets. What's happening? Yeah. Which I don't know why companies do that. I feel like you should like go to pick the movie first, and then if you're doing Doomsday, then get put into it.
Yeah, because then they'll put you in that queue for that.
So. And I'm pretty sure for Endgame, that's what it was. I think that's a recent change that AMC has done, which I don't really understand.
This probably just being cheaper. They just find it weirdly.
Right.
I don't know how it is, but they must find it easier because they're like, we don't have to do all that work. They just wait just to get any ticket. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. All right, so we're going to move on. We've obviously, we've been going quite a while here. And it's all been great stuff, great news. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get depressed a little bit here, and we're going to move on to some other news that dropped this week. The Batman Part 2 has been delayed yet again. So it is no longer coming out in October of 2027. It's been delayed to February 18th of 2028.
Oh my god!
Wait, okay, hold on. I gotta pull this one up real quick.
Okay.
The Batman Part 3 will end up being Batman Beyond. Dude, at this point, I don't disagree. I think we're getting pretty close at this point into what we're doing. So,
and you were, I think, in the Discord, you were the first one to bring it up to us.
I was.
You're like, here you go, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're killing me. Don't do this to me. They replaced it's because Warner Brothers, I know you were probably going to get into it anyway, but Warner Brothers decided to shuffle their movies around, and they had J.J. Abrams as The Great Beyond take the place of that.
I don't buy that. I don't even buy that remotely.
No, I don't buy it because who the fuck wants that? I'm sorry.
Who's seeing that movie?
I don't
sorry,
know.
But like,
and I'm not going to blame JJ, but you're on my shit list, JJ.
Right. Yeah. Mr. Get paid $500 million by Warner Brothers to not fucking produce a thing. And now you're delaying the Batman Part 2? Fuck you, JJ.
And then the Paramount thing hasn't even gone through yet, so it's not like a Paramount issue. It's just the Warner Brothers being idiots again.
Yeah. I mean, we can kind of get into some conspiracy theories about what people think. I mean, I've seen some people think that they don't want it releasing as closely to Man of Tomorrow that they were. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, people who hate James Gunn would probably say they agree with that and think it's an ego thing, but
it's
Phil. Anyways,
we don't know. The fact of the matter is that, I mean, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't know. There's also the thing about who knows if James Gunn's going to stay. Not because I'm thinking that they're going to get rid of him. I'm not saying Warner Brothers would. I'm saying that he might not want to be the head anymore.
Hey, that man looks tired. I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I see him in an interview, I'm like, dude, you look like you have not slept in like a year.
And it's a different thing, man.
It's a demanding job. That's what that's why I so vehemently was aggressive with like, yo, you shouldn't be directing. Like, if this is going to be your thing, like, you should not be directing these tentpole blockbusters that basically are the cornerstone of the universe that you're the CEO of and that are important. Like, that's a lot on your shoulders, man.
And it kind of already started to happen because I didn't think Supergirl was as bad as people were saying, but it is still, by the words of him. No, it's not great. But by the words of him, he thought it was a tight script. Like, he thought it was pretty good. And it's like, really? Was it?
Yeah. That's like, okay, are you really overseeing this as effectively as you should be? I don't think you are, man, because if you would have been there the whole time, you probably wouldn't have greenlit that. So
and the last I'll talk about was with the conspiracy theories that I think I've heard rumors that for the Batman, the Brave and the Bold one, not this one, but that they think he like. I think Muschietti's still on it. Not even know if I'm saying his name right, but
Yeah, no, you did. Yeah.
Muschietti's he's still on the project as the director, but some people were weirdly saying, I don't know who was saying this is probably not any base. There's probably no backing to this claim, but they're just saying that it could be someone else directing, and some people were saying James Gunn, and it's all this conspiracy
Oh my
bullshit.
god, I would hate that if he did
It's
that.
all this conspiracy bullshit that he's like wanting to take on another like that project and then kind of dip basically after that.
Okay, okay.
And I'm like, okay, maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just
Well,
look. This movie came out. The first one came out in March of 2022.
Yeah.
We then did not get the Penguin until last year in 2025, and this one is not coming out until 2028. That's 6 years between the first and the second film.
Yeah,
I read a stat that said Ben Affleck was 43 when he filmed Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And in that version, he's a very old and rundown and 25-year experienced Batman.
Mm-hmm.
This is a year 2 Batman, and Robert Pattinson is 42.
Yeah.
This is taking a lot longer than it should be. I'm sorry. And I don't know whose fault it is. I think it's just a combination and a shitstorm of everything. I think, we talked about it before, but I'm pretty sure Matt Reeves had some stuff going on in his personal life where he couldn't continue, the filming and the whole process with this film, which is why it got delayed as late as it did originally. This movie was supposed to come out in 2025. So a lot of people don't realize the first date was like October of 2025. Like we're going on a year already since it was originally supposed to come out, and it still ain't coming out for another year and a half. Like,
and then with that mix, also at Robert and his scheduling as well.
Because right, he's a movie star. He's got a million roles that he's doing right now. Yeah. Right.
So I mean that, and studio meddling too. Of course, there's always studio meddling. I wouldn't be as upset about the delay, by the way, because like you said, we got the Penguin, but that was barely last year.
Yeah,
I kind of would like if we were getting more TV shows in between. Like I know there was supposed to be a Arkham show,
Asylum
that they canceled.
Which that got shelved. Yeah.
And then a Gotham PD show that I think got shelved as well. If those were being given to us in between, I'd feel a little less
bad about it. Yeah,
bad about it. But because there's no content coming out, and I'm not asking for a well-oiled machine to give me content, everything. I'm just saying like some little breadcrumbs here and there, maybe. You know, like Penguin was awesome. I love Penguin.
Oh, great.
And
yeah, I was so happy with that.
And if we were getting season 2 already, that would be cool. But I don't think we're getting season 2. So,
I agree with what you're saying there. It's like if there was something else in the works, and something else coming, it wouldn't be as bad. It's just the fact that we have nothing, right? And I don't know. And it's like it's so disappointing because, I kind of talked about it earlier with the Nolan films, where like with Interstellar specifically.
Yeah,
I didn't really love it when I first saw it, but over time it got better. That's how I felt about the first Batman. Honestly, I felt walking out, I wasn't disappointed, but I was like, I wanted to love it and I didn't. And I think with each subsequent rewatch, I've loved it more.
Yeah,
and particularly Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Bruce Wayne, has really grown on me.
Yeah,
so I want more. And that's where this frustration comes from. I want to see this character. I want to see this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just taking so long. And
yeah, I agree. I love his portrayal. It's a disservice to not have him be able to because we should be on our not saying
we should be waiting for part 3 at this point.
Yeah. Part 3 should be coming out for the date that they're putting part 2 at.
Yeah. If they would have been every 3 years, it would be 2028.
Which 3 years is a good amount of time.
That's a good time. That's not a short amount of time, right?
And this is all live action. It's not animated. It's like not CGI heavy at all. It's very minimal. Right. So it's like you said, a lot of factors: studio, director, having stuff going on, and then Robert having his own schedule about what he does. So you know.
Well, at least they gave us this 30-second teaser. Hold on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, of Rob just aura farming in the snow. Which I saw it and I'm like, hey, he looks great. I think someone had commented and said that the ears are bigger. which I'd have to compare it, and then the cowl's a little different as well.
Matt Reeves confirmed the ears are longer. Yeah,
he did. Okay. Oh wow, here's a perfect picture. This is perfect of how I reacted to the news, honestly.
Oh man, and it's funny because I know it literally is almost exactly 6 years because you said March 2022.
Yeah, it was
February.
Yeah,
So
I think it was March 25th or something. It was late March basically. So yeah, it's basically almost exactly 6 years.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's a long time. It's a long
Batman
time.
Beyond, man. This is
I mean, we're heading there at this point. That might be part 3. So
I will say with the age stuff too. To be fair, I do think Robert Pattinson does still look younger.
Yeah.
So he can still pass for a younger Bruce, but I get what you're saying though. Is like, damn.
It's just the concept. Well, because you got to think he got cast as Batman in like 2019. Because remember that movie, the first movie took forever to come out because of COVID and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So with doing math, he's 42 right now. He was 35 when he got cast.
Yeah,
that's a long time. That's a long time. So that's all. That's just my point. I know he let's be real. Ben Affleck looked older than he was, right?
Yeah.
He's had his issues. He looked older than he was when he took that role.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's the opposite. He looks a lot younger than he actually is. So it'll be okay.
Yeah, he has that Tom Holland thing going on.
Right. He's not a bad 42, right? So I'm not gonna.
He's a Hollywood 42. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yes. No, he doesn't look old. So I don't think it's going to be a thing when it comes to look or anything. It's just more. It's just the point. It's like look, Ben Affleck was playing a Batman who was 25 years in.
Yeah.
Robert's playing one that's only 2 years in, and somehow they're almost at the same age going into the second film. So
yeah, it's baffling. It's crazy to think about. Yeah,
it is.
I agree. So. We'll see. I mean, I'm not even doubting the quality. I'm kind of done with these delays, man.
I think that's just what it is that like I know it's going to be good. It's a situation where it's like, look, Matt Reeves is a great director.
Mm-hmm.
I love the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably going to be really good.
Yeah.
And them continuing to push it off just frustrates me for that reason because I'm like, I just want to see this movie.
Because sometimes in Hollywood delays are usually sometimes because of the quality, thinking it's not going to be good.
Right.
But
right.
in this case, it's not.
And there's no indication that that's what it is, though.
No.
That's why it's frustrating because it's like, well, then maybe we'd understand and would be more worried. But it's like, I don't know what we're actually delaying this movie for. That's my issue.
I mean, what were the other conspiracies? Was that the only one? Was the
pretty much that like James, like they don't want it very close to Man of Tomorrow because maybe it can mess with the box office, which like I get because look, the first Batman movie was more successful than Superman was.
Superman, right? Yeah.
I think the Superman movie had more of an uphill battle on that first outing than the Batman did, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fair. Look, this one made what, like 700 million, I think, the first one?
Something like that, yeah.
There's definitely a possibility that part 2 is going to hit $1 billion, especially after all this long anticipated wait that we've gotten.
Because you know how the ticket sales are going for Doomsday right now? Yeah. I mean, that's going to be DC's Doomsday. Yeah.
And I mean, look, I would say if that is real, that's a valid concern for James Gunn to have because it's a different universe. He's trying to build that. Yeah. And it could overshadow. But I don't know. I don't know how true that is. And maybe it is just, look, we had to reshuffle all of our movies because a lot of movies got delayed from my understanding. It wasn't just this one and just that J.J. Abrams one.
Yeah.
So maybe that's real, right? You never know. But I just want to see the movie. That's just the point.
Yeah, just give it to us. Give us... Maybe give us, me and you, early copies, early viewings.
Hey, Warner Brothers, if you want to invite me out to y'all studios to be part of your test screening audience, I will gladly oblige. I would love to watch the movie right now.
Yeah, so. Don't you worry, guys.
No, they're still filming. It's not. There's not even like an assembly.
Oh well, let us get on set to watch.
Yeah, right. Hey, give me. Let me meet Rob real quick.
Like how I was doing for a while. I was just adding Matt Reeves and being like, I won't believe you until you show me the script yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's real. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next topic. Let me find the article. Oh, no,
yeah.
Too far back. I'm going too far back here. Yeah. this is crazy news here about the God of War series. First, I'll ask: Are you have you played the games? Are you a fan of the games?
I played the original trilogy. I will say I haven't. I've only played part of the first. I guess what you call a remake, the new one.
2018.
Yeah,
oh, it's not a remake. It's a sequel, but
it's a sequel.
They kind of reimagined everything.
Yeah. So big fan of the original trilogy. Played a little bit of the new one, which not because I didn't like it. I just didn't get back to it because I have so many games I play.
Right.
But no, I do love Kratos and God of War as a series. I love that.
Yeah.
This was unfortunate to hear.
This was
about.
very unfortunate news. So reports came out essentially that Ryan Hurst, while on set filming this God of War series, tore his bicep, which is, if anyone who's been injured or maybe in athletics or anything like that knows, is a very bad injury. It's one that takes a very long time to recover from. So that's terrible to hear. The original reports were coming out that they were going to delay shooting until 2027 because they had already filmed 4 episodes. They were already 4 episodes into shooting. But then they later came out and said, no, we're not going to delay. We're not going to be able to do that. We're going to recast Kratos and start from scratch. That's insane. That's insane to me. How, I don't know what unions Ryan Hurst is a part of, but how he doesn't have a representative fighting with Amazon right now about this is kind of crazy to me.
I mean, I'm wondering how he's going to be compensated for what he's already
He's
done.
got to be paid. I mean, right? He's got to be. I would be lawyering up and being like, hey, they need to pay me the full what I was supposed to get for this season.
Also, this was a on set
right
too, so they should he should get a lot of compensation for that. I mean, he could sue them if he wants to too, because that's like a 6-month recovery time.
Oh, easy.
Easy.
Yeah. And I mean, and if he's wanting to go back and do stunts again, he probably would need 9 months to a year before he started doing that again, to make sure he doesn't re-injure himself.
It's like Mr. Bezos better be cutting him a big ass check, man.
Oh my God. I've just never seen something like this where this is just unheard of. I've never seen, I can't think of a situation off the top of my head where an actor gets injured on set, and instead of just delaying for him to recover and come back, they just axe him. That's nuts. I've never heard of that. So.
And and you're right, because it's not been often that ever happens. Because I remember when Iron Man 3 was being filmed, I remember Robert Downey, which I know it's different circumstances, but still it shows that if the actor got injured, they'd delay it so they could finish it.
Right.
They didn't recast Robert Downey Jr., but you see the disconnect here with this situation. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
To do that.
And I don't know how, I don't know if you remember, there was controversy about this image and how real it was. People thought it was AI generated. Supposedly it was. I don't know. So I don't even know if this is actually an actual image or anything.
I mean, it looks odd. It almost looked like the video, it looked video gamey.
Right. Yeah.
But I couldn't tell. So.
I still thought the casting though was great. I thought he would have been a fantastic Kratos, truthfully. Ironically too, he voiced Thor in the Ragnarok video game, which I thought that was cool. Yeah, he was basically one of the main villains of the last game that came out. So I thought that was cool. And he was great too. We just had talked about it. I thought he was awesome in the Odyssey. His role where he was training with Tom Holland's character and everything. I thought that was great.
He was the beggar that came in, and then he ended up just because he was that beggar that had come in, and then they could. Am I wrong?
No, he was the guy that was training with Tom Holland's character.
But it was getting the story wrong, because I thought there was that beggar that he let in, and then wasn't that the same guy that he ended up just the one that he was training with was that beggar? Am I wrong?
Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't remember him being a beggar. No.
Okay.
Maybe I'm misremembering it. I don't know. I'll pay attention on Wednesday if that was the case. I might have
I'll
missed
make
something.
sure too. It's non-linear, so I'm wondering if I just
if we got it mixed up. Yeah. I mean, that could be a possibility. I don't know. I mean, and it could have been my direction too, where I didn't realize.
Well, either way, he was great in Odyssey.
He was great though. Yeah, I loved the back and forth he had with Tom Holland. It was a very small role, right? But I thought he was very effective in it.
No, you're good. Sorry.
You're fine.
I was gonna say that I wonder if this will be a thing where people are like, release the 4 episodes, please.
Yeah, right. Yes, we could see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it was. And I mean, people, because I was thinking, like, why would they do this? And somebody pointed it out to me, and it kind of makes sense. So the character, his son, Atreus, is specifically a certain age in the story they're telling.
Yes.
So I wonder if it's just that they just can't delay because of that character. They don't want him to age out.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It could be that, yeah.
And it makes me wonder, like, if they're willing to scrap him, was the chemistry that great? You know, because I'm like, I think about it and I'm like, well, if the chemistry between Kratos and Atreus in the show was fantastic, they probably would have been okay with delaying it.
Yeah, because it would have been worth it. It would have been worth it.
Yeah. And the fact that they looked at the options and they said, no, we're not going to do it. I'm like, ooh, maybe those 4 episodes weren't going as well as maybe we would have hoped. So
yeah,
still unfortunate though. I feel bad for Ryan Hurst, man. He's getting royally screwed over here.
That he's getting screwed over. That's a horrible injury to get to. Just because I know that is bad. I know that's happened in football with players, and that just fucks them up. You know. Right. So, I hope he has a good recovery. I hope he gets his compensation. Like I hope he gets his money.
I hope he gets his full payout that he was supposed to get for that entire season, because
I hope so too.
That's ridiculous. I mean, like I said, never heard of that. Never heard of that.
I mean, it's Amazon Prime too, man. Cut the freaking check.
You guys got the money. Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
but I'm curious who they'll recast. And like who they'll cast as Kratos.
Well, I imagine we're gonna hear something pretty quickly, because if they're not willing to wait for him, they're probably getting the ball rolling already. You know, doing auditions or something, or maybe they're going to the actors that maybe he beat out, right?
Oh yeah. Like any of the, I guess you call them understudies.
Who was the second choice? Maybe they're going to that person now and saying, "Hey, you got it.
Yeah,
quickly get over here."
I need to finish those games too now, because this is going to be playing more into those than
I would say. Like, obviously, if you love the original trilogy, like that's more a hack and slash game.
Yeah.
This is more story centric,
mm-hmm.
so it makes sense why they're not adapting those first 3 and they're going straight into these games, because they're very heavy story focused. The gameplay is still fantastic. I think there's a lot of fun to be had in those games. But it is more story centered and very heartfelt and emotional with the relationship between him and his son. So
I
understand why. I'm still looking forward to it. I feel so bad for Ryan Hurst.
No, I feel so bad for him too. I was going to say something else in relation to the God of War series. How did you feel about the Laffy announcement when that came out?
I can't wait. I'm super excited for that.
It looks pretty fun.
I think the only people bitching about it are just grifters and chuds online who hate to see a woman in a video game for some reason.
No, that's the thing too, is that I love that they also got what's her name from Daredevil to
Deborah Ann Woll. Yeah. She was actually in the last game as the character.
Oh yeah, they put her in the fire, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that was the first one.
Yeah, that's what I meant in the first one.
Oh yeah, she was in Ragnarok. There was moments where she had Kratos had visions, where he was talking to her and stuff. So like she did the whole motion capture and everything for it. So like we kind of knew it was happening. I'm like, you don't cast Deborah Ann Woll as a side character in the game. Like you're gonna do something with her. And then she confirmed that she knew about the plans for this game. I think in 2019 or 2020 or something, right after the first one. So.
Yeah, no, it's because I know in the first game I meant that she was at the beginning. It was already established age. She had passed away, and they had, did all that stuff. I do like the funny Jack Quaid cube, the gelatinous.
Oh yeah.
We'll see how that plays out. The cube of war, as people have been saying.
He always plays like the most lovable characters. Like that's just his thing now, you know.
But anyway, I hope he has a good recovery, and we'll see who they cast.
I hope, and like you said, I hope he gets compensated. I think that's very important because I think he's royally screwed over from this.
For sure.
So, All right, so we'll move on. Next topic. A lot of these are going to be much quicker than what we've done on the first 4 topics. The It Follows sequel has begun filming. It is called They Follow. I don't know if that's just a working title, if that's actually the title of the movie. So it stars Michael Monroe, Naomi Ackie, Michael Gandolfini, and Jack Earl Haley. So those are Some
Yeah.
pretty good names there. I will admit I have not seen It Follows. I'm a big horror guy, and that is one movie that has just slipped my viewage. I'm kind of worried. I'm gonna watch it. Actually, I plan on watching it pretty soon here. And I'm kind of worried about the hype of it, because I've heard about it and heard good things for so many years that maybe I won't enjoy it so much. But we'll see. So I'll throw to you. Have you seen It Follows? And if so, are you excited for this sequel?
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I'll definitely need to do a rewatch because I'm pretty sure I watched it pretty close to when it originally came out. Not in theaters, just like on video, and it was good for what I watched.
When did that come out? I probably should have looked this up.
2014, I believe.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
So
So it's
been
not-
a long time. Yeah,
It's been a long time, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, I feel like it hasn't been such a long time.
too long. Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry, 2015. But
Okay.
anyway, still about the same
Still
area.
over a decade ago. Yeah.
Still over a decade ago. I thought it was good. It was an interesting concept, very interesting, especially since the basic concept is this entity just being passed over by, sex basically.
Yeah.
And
I've heard the concept of it. I'm like, oh, that does sound interesting.
and for horror fans, that sounds pretty neat. It's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was curious. It was interesting to hear that they were going to do a sequel. Not that they wouldn't had. Like, I feel like the end of the first one, I could see them doing a sequel. It wasn't like a cliffhanger. It's just more like, the entity I believe I remember from what I remember still remains.
Right.
So it does have the, what do you call it? The sequel. It could have gotten a sequel.
There was groundwork laid for a sequel if they wanted to do.
I just figured personally it was a one and done, but I'm curious what they'll do for They Follows, especially since, well, we'll see. I also do agree with you. I don't know if I like the title "Day Follows." Doesn't sound
I'm like, that seems a little.
But
weird. Yeah.
But for the concept and everything, we'll see if they expand upon it. I mean, it's something like what you and me like is Smile 2.
Yeah.
I just hope something of a similar vein, something like that they could do.
Because that was what Smile 2 did so well. Was it took, like, it wasn't really groundbreaking in what it did. It just took what that first movie established and like cranked everything up to 11 and took that concept and did it a better type of plot with it. Like, I think going bigger for that actually made more sense, right? Where normally I'm like, no, I like it when it's smaller scale.
Yeah.
Cheaper. Smile 2 didn't. When I saw it, I was like, oh no, it was actually a concept that needed to go bigger. It needed to do things more grandiose. Maybe this can do that. But
is there a plot detail on this? I forget.
I don't believe so. At least not that I know of.
Because I'd be curious if there's like a really, I could look it up really quick, a brief synopsis for this, just to
somehow it returned. No.
Oh no, no.
No, but yeah, I haven't heard really any plot. I mean, it just started filming too, so I imagine.
Oh,
that would be under wraps, right? Like that probably.
They're like,
be...
the synopsis is it follows again.
Right. Yeah.
The movie picks up a decade after the original and pushes the boundaries on the curse. Okay. That's
what it's okay. Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, I plan on watching that movie very soon. It's one that has just gotten away from me for many years, but it's one I've heard about for basically the decade since it came out. So that's definitely something that I am looking forward to. So
cool.
Okay, so we will go on to the next topic. Like I said, these ones we're probably going to shoot through pretty quickly. They're not really super, big news. Jimmy Tatro will officially star as Gorilla God in the Jimmy Olsen series, which do I care about? No, I don't at all. I like Jimmy Tatro. He's been in a couple of projects I've watched. He was obviously in the opening scene in Scream 7, which I liked his character. I actually think that's one of the stronger aspects of that film is that opening scene.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't know how to feel about this, though. I don't care. Actually, that's how I feel. I really don't care.
Yeah, it's interesting what projects they decide to go with, depending. I don't know why. But
I can tell you why.
Yeah, well, because
it comes from a James Gunn project. That's why.
Yeah, that's the thing. James's projects kind of
get priority.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping we're surprised and we were like, oh, this is way. I mean, to be fair, the expectations are kind of low that it could just be
Very
good,
low.
and you're like, oh wow, this is way better than I thought. But it's
Yeah.
like, what was I expecting from
Well,
the
my
beginning?
expectations were the floor, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I know why, but I also still don't think they should be prioritizing something like this. But whatever, let it go, I guess. I just hope that Gorilla Grodd being in here means the Flash is sooner than later.
Later, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I need a new
Could you
Flash.
imagine if that's how they reveal who's playing the Flash in the DCU?
They're
It's
like,
like at the end of this season or something. I don't know.
it's like the well, hopefully not that way, but just like Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, and when they
Yeah.
originally had what's their name? Sorry, I'm blanking on their
Wonder
name.
Woman?
Ezra Miller.
Oh yeah.
When they,
On like the
when,
video, yeah.
yeah, when they first had the Bruce, it's her, she's the key,
Oh
and
yeah.
then
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah.
and then of course he's Captain Boomerang. He's like, no honor among thieves, eh?
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Don't really care either about this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Gorilla Grodd is he's a Flash villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's a Flash.
I'll be
villain.
honest, I don't know anything about that character. I know he was in the CW show, I think, series or universe, right?
He's had the best memed scenes in all of CW.
Is that what this is right here? Hold on, let me pull this up.
Go ahead. If it's a video, yeah, probably.
I don't think it is, but it's a picture. Is that what that is, or no?
That is Gorilla Grodd from CW, yes.
Okay.
And we'll do it on our own time, but there are specific scenes you should check out from CW's The Flash for Gorilla Grodd.
Okay.
That are
I'll be honest, I know Darren would hate me to say this. I'm an avid hater of that CW DC universe. Except for Superman and Lois. I did like Superman and Lois a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But that's it. I was not a fan of Arrow, was not a fan of The Flash. None of it. I was really a fan of.
I like the early days of both of those shows. What they became is what I hate the most.
I was gonna say I was the most interested in Arrow early.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I think I don't remember what season I fell off, but I believe it was like the third or fourth.
I fell off on the fourth because when they introduced Damien Dark, I wanted to die and told them to leave. I wanted to not watch
I didn't see that, so I think I might have fell off even earlier.
Ra's al Ghul.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that was it.
It's okay. It's not for everyone, and it still isn't technically for me. I just like how I do appreciate how bad they got because of how funny it is.
Yeah. I have seen a million memes from that universe though, so I get it. Yeah.
Like me and Chainsaw and Darren and all of us talk about we like it for what was good about it, but I also like what was bad about it, and I also hate what was bad about it. So
it's a love-hate type of hate, right? Yeah.
It's a lot of that, so
yeah.
But
no,
yeah, I don't care about this. So.
Yeah. I wish we heard about a DC project and I wasn't saying that. That's kind of where we're at with it, and I wish that was not the case. I wish I was more excited. This seems like a project that you do like in like phase 4 of the DCU, right? Not like early on, and that's kind of my issue with a lot of what James Gunn is doing here.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Gunn for you, man. That's Jimmy.
Yeah. So all right. That's probably all we're going to talk about that. We'll move on to what is my favorite show of all time. Dexter Resurrection. Do you watch? I'll start off because just to get history. Do you watch Dexter? Have you watched any of Dexter?
I've watched a little bit, but definitely only the first series. Never
the spinoffs or anything. Okay.
So you could take this one.
I'll take this one over then. Yeah. So yeah, Gabrielle Luna has been cast as a serial killer named the Sleepy-Eyed Stranger in Dexter Resurrection season 2. Let me pull up cast list here so far. So in Dexter Resurrection, this is the second revival of the show. And it was fantastic. Season 1 was. It was really, really good. I'm trying to see who else returned or who else is in this season. Sorry. Oh, Brian Cox. If you ever watched Succession?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the dad, the older dad, in that. Okay. Brian Cox, he's a killer on there. But that's pretty much that's been announced when it comes. Oh, and Dan Stevens is the 5 Borough killer.
Oh, really? Dan Stevens?
He's
Okay.
he's going to be a killer in the show too.
That's cool.
What really worked well about that first season is when they brought the show back, he was introduced to like a club of serial killers, and that's Dexter's
Oh.
code in the show. Is that Dexter is a serial killer that only kills other serial killers. He doesn't kill innocent people.
Yeah.
I'll caveat that there's been some moments in the series where he has, and that was in the later seasons of the original show, which a lot of people don't hold in as high of regards as the first 4 seasons of the show. But I hold Dexter Resurrection season 1 in that quality. I think it's just as good as those first 4 seasons of the show. So we bounced back very heavily. I thought the quality was very good. So to hear that they're kind of going that same route that we got in season 1, where we're introducing multiple killers for Dexter to go against, I think is great, because I thought what really was strong about that first run of Dexter and those first seasons, 4 seasons in particular, there was always an overarching story, but then each episode had him killing someone who was kind of like serial killer of the week, right? So I felt Resurrection bringing that back and having that, you know, a little bit more of a grander scale, right? But bringing that back and having basically someone that he's going after every episode was really, really great. So I'm glad that we're going forward and we're continuing that here with season 2. And so far the additions, like I said, you know, Brian Cox, Dan Stevens, Gabrielle Luna, this is positive for me. I'm very happy to hear this news and that we're moving forward. I'm really glad that it looks like we're only going to get about a year and a half in between seasons, because I hate modern TV. I keep forgetting to put the names of tag on here. I hate modern TV and how long we have to wait between seasons. So I love that Dexter is pulling that. And Dexter is one of those shows that was in its prime every year, right? So like it makes sense that a show like this coming back would be the one to continue and want to do that. So yeah, I love the show. This is a show I only discovered a couple of years ago, and it jumped immediately to my number 1. Dexter's my favorite character in all of television ever. I would say, like, I can tell you other shows I think as a whole are better, right? I think the show falls off at certain points. I don't think it's as bad though as people say. Like, people are like, oh, 5 to 8 seasons 5 to 8 of the original show are like terrible, and I'm like, I don't agree with that. I think there is a lot in there that's actually really good, but it is significantly worse. And then they had New Blood, which I actually enjoyed. The ending was terrible though. They tried to end the show again and did an even worse job, I think, than the first one did, which which is why Resurrection came back basically and had that title, was because it was so bad. Everybody hated it. They were like, yeah, we can't do that. So we're not even going to end the show. We're just going to continue forever. And then they had a prequel show that got canceled, but the prequel show was great too. So Dexter's kind of on a high right now. So I'm very excited for this news, and we'll be watching day 1.
Okay. Sounds cool.
And I would say for you, watch it if you can.
Okay.
Try to get into. But I think, I don't know, Dexter's a weird. I always say that if you're not invested in the first episode, it's probably not for you, because Dexter is actually a show. Like, you know how a lot of people with certain shows are like, oh, you have to wait. Like the first season, after the first season though, it gets really good.
Yeah,
that's not Dexter. Dexter starts right off rip, and right out the gates. So.
No, I what I've watched from season 1 was good, so I'm not out of it. I'm just again, I watch so much stuff that things just get put to the back burner for me, and then I'm like, I'll come back later,
Eventually, yeah. So okay, so we'll move on. I'll pull up the article here.
Whoa, Ari, let's go.
Resident Evil. I always like talking about Resident Evil, obviously, as much as I can. So yes, it was revealed recently that Zach Cregger's Resident Evil that is coming out in September. Jesus, we're like very less than 2 months away. I can't believe it. Is going to have a runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes.
Okay.
Which for me, that feels like a very refreshing and brisk pace. A lot of those Wes Anderson Resident Evil movies, I think, were all like over 2 hours long each.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Or Paul. I'm sorry. I don't know why I call him Wes Anderson. I'm thinking of somebody else, and I do that every single time. I hate those movies though, so maybe that's why.
No,
I'm just hey, put them out of my brain.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
But yeah, I believe those movies were all typically 2+ hours, and I think at the end they got to like 2.5 hours.
I know.
Which, that's just torture for us, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then there's obviously been reports about what this movie is, how it's very fast paced, how it's kind of like Mad Max in the Resident Evil world and everything. So I think this kind of confirms that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which very much looking forward to it. I love Zach Greger. I think he's going to do well, even though it's not a direct adaptation. So when you hear this news, what are your thoughts? Are you in the same boat? Is that?
Yeah, it's.
Or do you not care? As long as it's a good movie.
No. Yeah, well, that too. But it's a sweet spot. I like the hour and 30-minute mark for a horror movie. But no, that sounds awesome. Especially since I didn't actually hear about the Mad Max style or the Mad Max like pace, like kind of like how it's going to be. So that's awesome. I love that. I just hope Justin Long's a zombie that starts measuring out some stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Like in Barbarian.
Yeah. No, he will be. He'll show up. Yeah, he'll show up in some way. I
know
have
what's funny? What if he's like the guy in the sewer? We just
don't know. The big fat guy. They put him in a suit. Yeah, that would be great.
But no, a brisk hour 30 sounds perfect for me. And of course, like you said, also just glad to get definitely a good Resident Evil movie. Let's just say.
At the very least, and this isn't a high bar.
Yeah.
I want this to be the best live action Resident Evil film. That's all I want. That's all I ask for. And then not like I also don't want, and this is a worry. It could be a worry. I don't want this to be a movie that's not actually a Resident Evil movie, but it's just skinned as a Resident Evil movie. So I want to feel like a Resident Evil game. Even if it's not like he's not adapting a story, right? I want it to feel like it takes place in the Resident Evil world. And I think we talked about this before. Biohazard.
Mm-hmm.
Biohazard's a perfect example of a game in this series that isn't adhering to previous characters or previous storylines, that is just a standalone story that worked very well. I want that here for this film. That's what I want.
I agree. So he says, I remember it could really mean nothing since it is still the original character, but it does supposedly take place completely parallel to the events of RE2. So we'll see. That
I feel like he said that, and then they released the trailers, and people were using cell phones in the trailer. So I'm like, but so then he kind of backtracked, and he's like, "Well, no, it doesn't take place in the same universe."
Oh yeah, because that would be it would be 98 then if that was the case.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, no, it doesn't actually take place in the same universe in the games."
Come on.
He said what he meant was he can see Resident Evil 2 taking place at Raccoon City Police Department at the same time as this.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay, all right, fair. I mean, it's snowing. Obviously, it was not snowing in Resident Evil 2, right?
Yeah.
So, and I actually posted at the time when that first got revealed, the trailer got dropped. There was like a funny TikTok that the guy did. He was like being an obsessive Resident Evil fan. He's like, it's snowing. It doesn't snow in the game. And I'm like, I was like, now I feel like I'm acting like that guy, but
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite when I do my those obsessive videos. I usually am like, oh, did you see that? That's awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Instead of being like
negative about it.
Well, actually, this wouldn't happen. This is 98. They wouldn't have those cell phones, which is true. And I agree with you. So I would say was pushed back on that parallel.
Well, and I think there was probably a little bit of pressure on Kreger because
that's true.
A lot of recent video game adaptations have been doing it where they're like, oh, it's live action, but it takes place in the same universe as the game. Like Fallout did that. The most recent Until Dawn movie did that, even though that was a shitbox and a half.
I wish they never did that.
Yeah, I wish that didn't exist because I love those games. But that's kind of been a growing trend. So I wonder if that's what they originally maybe wanted him to do, and then he was just like, I'm just going to make my own movie.
Which is totally fine.
Yeah, which I would rather him do. I want you to make the best movie you can in the movie that you want to make, right?
Yeah. Personally, don't even have to bring up anything about it being taking place, like you said, in the like in around the time of one game.
yeah, right.
It could still be in the universe, just probably later. You know, it's
Right,
probably
yeah.
not going to be around. Obviously, not 298. You know, it's not going to be around that time.
Yeah.
So we'll just figure it takes place at a certain point in RE9 or
And
RE universe or whatever.
Right.
Whatever, who cares? I'm sure it's gonna be a good movie.
I don't care. I just want a good movie. That's all I care about. Look, we have the games. The games are always there. I love them. I have all of them. You know, I own all of them. I'm fine with it. I want a good movie. I want that, and the bar is in hell. Okay, you don't have a lot to like, dude. I'm not asking you for much. Just make the best live action Resident Evil we've ever gotten.
Oh man, what if
I'm not asking you a lot? Okay.
I'm joking, obviously, but what if they do like a crazy, stupid thing where it's like, where they did it in Evil Dead Burn with Ellie, and they're like, Alice shows up at the end.
Oh my god, no!
I'm like, no.
No matter how good the movie was, I think if that happened, I would automatically like put my rating like 5 stars down just for doing that. Like,
it would have to go down that far, yeah.
It could be the best, one of the best movies I've ever seen, and then that happens. Nope, it's a 5 out of 10 now. Sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, but that's fine.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on. We only got a few more topics here. So there was a comment recently that Kevin Feige made. Where did I put it? I have a bunch of bookmarks here. Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
About Adam Driver. So I thought this was very interesting, especially with like what the rumor mill has been lately about Adam Driver. So Kevin Feige says that Adam Driver, sorry, I can't see. Has passed on many roles for Marvel films. He said it's no secret that we'd like to cast him, but it's a tradition to Zoom with him and then he passes. Which is very strange because there's been a lot of rumors running about, who he could possibly be cast as. There was really a strong rumor saying that it was Magneto. He was going to be Magneto in the new X-Men reboot for the MCU. And then there were other people who came out and said, no, he's actually going to be Mr. Sinister. That was another one that was going on as well. So I kind of feel like this is Kevin Feige coming out and just trying to put some water on that fire. I mean, is that what you also read this as, or how do you read this?
It sounds like it to me. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't have said anything at all, probably.
Right.
I think because then he would have just let the rumors go and let them be rumors, because I'm sure that one of them was correct. I felt like the Mr. Sinister one sounded more,
especially if he didn't want to commit. I feel like that one made more sense because clearly whoever plays Magneto is probably going to be Magneto for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of movies going forward. Yeah, the contracts will be for a longer time. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's pretty much telling us that Adam's not in any movie coming up. Pretty much, like I said. Otherwise, he would have just not come out to say anything.
Well, it could have been. My two thoughts is either A, he's not casting anything, and he's right, and he's been trying to recruit Adam Driver for years, and he just can't find a role for him, or Adam Driver just doesn't want to commit. Or the second thing is he is cast, and Kevin Feige's just trying to, Andrew Garfield it up, and
he's
not
the
tell
werewolf.
anyone. Yeah, he's trying to throw us off the scent. But nowadays it could be either, right? It could be either or.
I'm personally into the Sinister rumor more than the Magneto, but I'm fine with either. But it could be also that he could be casted already. We just don't know. So I could take it either way. We'll see. I guess that's just the whole thing. We're just gonna have to see, because we've been getting a lot of rumors about a lot of different people for a lot of different roles currently, just because of Doomsday and Secret Wars.
If I remember correctly, I feel like he was strongly considered for Reed Richards, right? I feel like I remember that before
that could
Pedro.
Have been one.
Yeah,
it could have been. I don't know.
I feel like it was him and Margot as Sue and Reed. I feel like I remember that being like at one point people were like, "Oh no, it's done." Like he's going to be Reed, and then like it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. He reportedly received the script but declined the offer early in 2023 because he didn't connect with the character.
Wow.
Okay. I'm surprised. Okay, well, I mean that works.
Well, that actually checks out with what Kevin said. That like, hey, we have been talking to this guy and trying to get him for something, but it just never works out.
It's funny because Zoom calls, he's probably just like, "Hey, Adam, please, is there anything you like at all?" And
Yeah,
they're like,
right. Yeah. He's
"Hey,
probably,
I don't know, man. You got to
yeah.
throw me something my way. I don't know if I like this. You know what I mean?"
He doesn't
They
strike
probably,
me as a comic guy. I'll be honest.
nah, I don't think
Like,
so.
yeah.
He also probably needs to get buttered up. He probably just needs Kevin to take him for a dinner and be like, "Look,
Yeah, you're right.
there's a lot of stuff we could put you in. I just want you to like one of them, but I
Right.
also don't want Adam to do anything that he's not feeling passionate about
Passionate.
because I
Right.
don't want a
Yes.
half-ass
Yeah.
performance. You know what I mean?"
And I wonder, this is a very fitting picture to talk about this. I wonder how scarred he is, no pun intended,
Oh, yeah.
from how the Star Wars played out. Like maybe he's hesitant to get into franchises because of
Yeah.
that. I mean, because really everything that he's taken since then has not been franchises. It's been
No.
typically smaller movies
Mhm.
where maybe he connected and resonated with the character a little bit more.
Yeah, it's no IPs from since
Right.
Star Wars, I believe. So yeah.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I could see the hesitation too, because I do agree that he was a little he kind of got the shaft a little bit like others during the Star Wars trilogy a little bit.
Well,
So
and just the chaoticness of that trilogy specifically, like
yeah.
the direction was all over the place. Like I
I
imagine that whatever he was pitched the character as before Force Awakens was
mhm.
not the story that they ended up telling, right?
No.
And I mean, we
Yeah.
know that from like Duel of the Fates leaking the script and like knowing what the
Yeah.
details of the trilogy was really supposed to be. So maybe that's what it is, and he's just I don't want to commit and then have my career on hold basically while I'm playing this one role, and then it not be even the vision that I originally signed on for.
I think he also was screwed over because besides the trilogy, you might have heard the same things, but wasn't there supposed to be a search for Ben Solo or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
Yeah,
he was supposed to get a solo movie
and
too,
and
and
and he probably felt like that was pretty cool, and he wanted to do that, and then they
probably
pretty much were like, "Sorry, no, we're not doing that." And he's like, "Fuck,
yeah,
you guys suck. I'm not doing
yeah,
this anymore."
yeah. Which
Oh well.
you would think that wouldn't affect going forward, but if he had a bad enough experience, it's.
I'd
I mean, look
feel
at Ben Affleck, right? Ben Affleck had such a bad experience with Justice League that he basically was like, I'm probably never committing to anything superhero ever again. So
yeah, and that's fair. I feel like all this is fair across the board. I'm kind of like, yeah, Adam, if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
right,
I don't want you to I also like you said, I don't know if he's even too into the superhero genre, and
as
if
a
he's
yeah,
and if he's not, then that's probably better that he just doesn't care to do these because who knows? He's a great actor. I think he would do good either way, but he might not put his full heart into it if he, you know.
yeah,
So
and we wouldn't want a half-assed performance, right? We
exactly.
would that's not, especially if it was like something like Magneto. It's like, oh no, like we need whoever is going to be cast. We need them to be like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever done, right?
Because yeah, we got original like old Ian McKellen, but we also have the amazing Michael Fassbender.
I think
So
Fassbender is better.
he's amazing.
That's a hot take. I know a lot of people love McKellen. I think Fassbender was better as Magneto.
I think he was the highlight of all those
The prequels, yeah,
younger X-Men movies. Yeah.
I
He
agree.
he personally, like, Apocalypse to me is not a great movie,
It's
but
good, yeah.
his parts in that movie were the strongest parts of that movie.
Oh yeah, that was the
Like,
one with his family, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, when he goes back to the warehouse, oh man, that scene, I replay that pretty like much once a year. I'll just go
Yeah.
back and watch that one clip and be like,
Yeah.
damn, that's
Yeah,
memorable.
that movie was really weird because like there was a lot of great moments in it, but like as a whole, it was just like I don't know.
Yeah, it will be serious in some parts, and then it'll go back to like a cartoon, and I'm like, what
Yeah,
are we doing? Like, are
well,
we
and even
doing?
like the Quicksilver sequence, like yeah, that one is goofier in nature, right? But like it was so good. Like
It's so good. Yeah,
I still rewatch that. Like whenever I see it pop up on my timeline, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta watch this.
yeah, I
It was
gotta
such
watch
a great scene.
Sweet Dreams. Yeah,
Right? Yeah. So
okay.
all right, well, yeah, we'll move ahead. I don't really have any more articles to pull up here because the last one is just the look ahead to San Diego Comic-Con. Obviously, I will be there. I'll be in attendance. Very kind of grateful moment for me to be doing this. I'm someone I don't have it on me, but I will post it before the weekend is over. I have a post from on my Facebook from back in like 2012, and I'm like, it was like an affirmation, and I was like, I will one day attend San Diego Comic-Con live.
Yeah.
So to flash forward, 14 years later, it took a lot longer I probably would have thought of to do it. But to be able to experience it, I'm leaving tomorrow. I leave at like 11 a.m. or right before noon, I think, is when my takeoff is for my flight. I'm not going to land in California until about 3:30 their time, so it's like 6 hours of flying in total. So it's going to be a long day, but it's not terrible. I live in Ohio, so I'm like literally on the opposite side of the country. But yeah, I'm super excited about this, and I'm obviously very excited to meet a lot of our mutuals with Console. There's going to be a lot of us there. I'm excited to just be in that environment. Like I've been to like local Comic Cons here that like scale and size wise are maybe like 1/10 of what San Diego Comic Con is. So I'm like, I'm a little nervous because I'm like, dude, am I going to show up and just like have no idea what to do because there's just so much. But yeah, and then obviously too, like news that's coming. I know Marvel's doing a panel on Saturday. I'll say right now, I'm not going. I'm not, just because the process of getting into Hall H is very rigorous, and you have to wait in line basically a lot of time. I'm like, look, I don't know if I'll ever. I think I said this to you before we started the show. I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this again. So I'm not. I'm not going to waste time doing it. I'd rather go around, meet people, hang out with the guys, and just have a good time. So
yeah.
Anything you're looking forward to news-wise, though? Like, I know you'll probably be covering and following along, and if anything big comes out, I imagine you'll make videos. So, anything maybe you're looking forward to?
I mean, I was actually talking to Chainsaw. I know I asked him if y'all end up going to maybe the Lanterns. There's supposed to be a panel there. That one sounds cool.
I think they're doing like a whole set thing. Like they have like I don't know if it's like a bar or something for it. But yeah.
I think I asked him, but I actually could have asked you too, because I know they're supposed to have rings there, and I'm kind of wanting to get a ring. I'll pay anybody back that wants to get me one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. I packed today. I have a big ass suitcase.
Okay.
That's only like 1/4 full because I'm like, well, if I want to buy a bunch of stuff, I'm like, I need to be able to bring it back home and stuff. So yeah, for sure. If I see something there, I'll send you over deets, and we'll get it done.
Awesome.
I can ship it, whatever we want to do.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that in terms of merch for me is that ring. Otherwise, I mean, news-wise, I don't know unless there's new clips that they'll show anybody over there for Doomsday, possibly, or I really doubt it. But some people are saying, "Oh, X-Men casting." I'm like, I don't think so, but whatever.
Ooh.
Maybe that'd be cool, but
they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna confirm Jean.
No,
because if Sadie Sink is actually Jean, Brand New Day comes out next week. There's no reason to do it. That close.
Yeah.
But honestly, other casting, I could see that.
Yeah,
because
that'd be cool.
My whole my thought process, and I think I also mentioned this to you before the stream, was like, I'm very surprised they just released that Doomsday trailer right before Comic-Con because this I would have imagined that would have been something you would want to show at Comic-Con, right? And have that premiere there, and then maybe simultaneously drop it online so that way it's not like just exclusive to Comic-Con since it was already exclusively shown at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
But I wonder if maybe we get a little bit more on Secret Wars.
Oh, that could be. Could be up.
I don't know what it would be, right? But I imagine something. Like they're gonna say something.
I would like to see concept art or something.
Or something like something that doesn't give away. But that's the part that's tricky, right? Because like, what can you really reveal without giving away what happens in Doomsday?
Because it could be people might have died already.
Right.
You don't want to give away Battle World because that'll reveal every universe.
That reveals essentially where Doomsday will end, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of the problem with like the whole the Chairs event when they did the Chairs casting announcement, and it was like before Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four came out, but yet again you're revealing that they're in the movie, so it's like okay, that's why honestly you brought it up. I actually kind of am thinking now they might do X-Men because you can reveal that without really giving anything away because no one's expecting
Yeah.
them to be in Doomsday or anything. So
Yeah, that's true. I've been hearing the rumor casting for Cyclops and some others, so I'd like to get the
wow.
confirmation on the who they actually going to be. So
Yeah, I haven't heard any of that. I've kind of been
yeah,
away.
they're all rumors at the moment. Unfortunately, who they have cast or not cast, who they've been rumoring is that casted as Cyclops. People have been kind of mean about, and I'm like, I kind of hope it's real so that people can shut the hell up and just.
Who is it?
It's the okay. So have you watched The Long Walk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the main guy in Long Walk that they've been saying is casted as Cyclops.
Cooper Hoffman.
Yeah, Cooper Hoffman.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see
and
it.
I like him. I
mean,
like the casting, to be honest.
I'm gonna imagine the comments are about his weight.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. I mean, look, I get it. He definitely is a heavier set guy than what Cyclops like you imagine. But look, we can put him on that Hollywood diet. You know what I'm saying? Go give him some steroids, put him in the gym. He'll be all right. Like
the thing is that no matter what, they were always going to have him like bulk up anyway, though. That's the thing is that what I don't understand people saying about that is like, you know, that anybody that becomes a hero nowadays in any hero movie has to bulk up, even if they don't have any scenes where you get to see any of their body. It's still going to have to bulk up.
Go look at what Chris Pratt looked like before he was Star-Lord.
Yeah, I know.
That dude was big. He was a big guy. Like, and look at the insane shape he got in. So,
and it's funny too for Guardians because really there was only one scene without a shirt on, and the other parts were just him wearing his jacket.
Right.
They really didn't need to get him that big, but
he was
got
ripped,
big.
Though.
He got really ripped.
Yeah. Especially in that first movie, he was in great shape.
He was shredded. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking, like, regardless, it's like, guys, can you stop?
Yeah.
Get over it. And plus, you know, realistically, it doesn't matter what weight anyone is that's going to become a hero. They're going to have to bulk up anyway.
Yeah, they're going to get put on the Hollywood diet of chicken, rice, and working out 7 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, maybe a little HGH too while they're at it. You never know.
Yeah. So I'm not. That's the thing is like, it doesn't matter.
Actually, when it comes to like acting ability, like I actually see it. Like I'm like, oh yeah, if he you know gets in shape and you put the costume on him, I can see it for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And then if they're going younger, I think if Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, right? You could see it. I can see it. So
he's gonna. I think he'd do a good job. I hope the casting's true. Just so I think. Like I do as well agree with you. Cooper Hoffman would be a good choice, so I would love to see that. So
yeah,
we'll see.
No, I would be. I'm glad you brought that up because I actually did not. I didn't know that. That would make me pretty excited. So.
Well, I hope you guys get that news there, so then you could.
Yeah. Again, I won't be.
No.
If they announce it,
but you'll hear screaming, and you'll be like, "What's the screaming about?"
Yeah.
And then
you'll be. I don't know. From what I've heard, like the Hall H is pretty separate from like the rest of the convention center. So I don't even think I will, to be honest.
You maybe people will come by and walk by you and be like, "Did you see what they did at Hall H?"
Well, like I got I packed. I have 2 like battery packs. For my phone.
Okay.
So, like, when I know the panel's happening, I imagine I'll be with the other guys and we'll all kind of just be like looking for updates at that point. We'll take a break, and kind of like, all right, let's see what happens. What's the news? Like, what are we doing? I mean, content-wise, I'm probably going to not do much of anything personally. Just because, again, this is something, I've only been on this content journey for 2 years now, and experiencing San Diego Comic-Con has been a goal of mine for 16 years, right? So like I don't want to make that the priority, right? No. I want to go there, I want to have fun, I want to meet the council guys, and just focus on that. I mean, if there's something huge, will I pull out my phone and record a TikTok? Probably, right? Like I'm not gonna fully like say no, I won't, but it's not my focus. Like I'm not going there with that in mind.
Intention,
with the intention of like, oh, this is all for content. No, like I'm going there to enjoy it as a fan, and just to have a good time. So
no, I hope you have a good time with everyone. I hope to hopefully see pictures at least with all.
For sure. Oh, we already discussed that. We're like, I think most of us are going to preview night, which is on Wednesday, which is kind of where you can go in to the convention center and like see the lay of the land of everything.
Okay.
And the obviously members of console, a few of them are going to be there as press. They're not like just going; they have to actually work while they're there. So I already said if we're all together early in the week, photo, all of us together, we have to get it because we don't know, right? There might be half of us missing, for the rest of the week, and I don't want to miss out on that opportunity. So.
Yeah, and hopefully in the future, I know this, like you said, it's possible this might be your only one, but I'm hoping to go to one day, and I hope to maybe get us all together again.
Yeah.
Or honestly, we were just talking about not even having to do Comic-Con again and just go meeting
up
other.
in general. Yeah. I brought that up to Chainsaw a couple of months ago too, and then he kind of put it out there, and I'm like, yeah, I would love to just find get everyone's location, right, and just find a central area that we can all meet up and do something, Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, because and I mean, even for me, I'm kind of like a little nervous because I'm like, wow, I've been talking to you guys for like a year and a half, but we've never met in person, so it's going to be different, right? It's not going to be the same. But I'm so excited for it. I'm like, I can't wait. And just being on vacation, off work, I'm like, I'm ready for it. So it should be very fun. My goal next year, though, because this year was Comic-Con, I want to go to Fantastic Fest in Austin.
Fantastic. I am closer there than I am to Comic-Con because I'm in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Austin would be closer for me.
Could you drive there, or is that too far?
I could drive probably. My car's not the most reliable, but I think I could definitely get a quicker plane ride there. Yeah. Fantastic Fest I've always wanted to go to as well.
It's one I've always had circled. I've never been to a film festival in general, so and that is the one where those are my movies. Those are the style of movies I love. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do a film festival, I feel like that is the perfect one to do.
Damn. Yeah. No, sorry, not damn about that, but I was like, because for next, I would probably think next year, but man, 2026, I'm like, damn, it already sold out everything.
Yeah. No, I believe you have to get tickets immediately when they go on sale. If you want, they have different packages. I was kind of reading into it because I was thinking about this year, but I was with Comic-Con. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But there's different packages. I think the highest tier, you get reservations. So you could see basically every movie that you want. You get first priority and stuff like that. And then it kind of just dwindles from there. You could also get passes that are only for half the week because it's an 8-day festival. It's very long.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would go for the whole thing. I would, that would be determining stuff in the future. But I really want to do it next year because every single Terrifier movie debuted there. Terrifier 4 coming out next year. So I'm like, if I can make that happen and be at the premiere of Terrifier 4, I will be a happy individual. So
I'll have to consider joining you in that journey too.
That would be great. I would, if any of you guys would want to go, I would love to do it, But I imagine it's going to be the niche fellas, the horror guys that would have to go. Because
if Kyle could go, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. But we'll see. That's always a way.
A future plan. Yeah,
I was going to say 2026 Fantastic Fest hasn't even happened yet, so that's a future focus. So,
but no, I hope the Comic-Con's great. Hope you have a good time with the guys, and all goes well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it all goes well, and I have fun. That's my main focus. Like I said, we're a few of us are meeting up to go see the Odyssey on Wednesday, so that'll kind of kick it off, and then we'll go from there. So all right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I have to get to bed because I have to get up early to catch that flight for San Diego. So as always, it was great, Ian. Why don't you go ahead and you can check your page out, and if you have any special things you're working on or videos or anything.
Okay, yeah. As always, anyone that wants to check out my content, you can check it out at my TikTok, en_movies_whatever. Currently, I just went to see The Invite, so I'll probably do a review on that.
Oh, nice.
It was really good. I loved it.
I've heard that, yeah.
And I think other things I have in the pipeline, I believe I have is it a rank? Oh, no. So I probably will be doing Avengers Doomsday breakdown on the
Okay.
trailer, just scene by scene, or at least like some notable things for what I saw. And if anyone's a big fan of Life is Strange, there's been some like the casting's fully put out there now for the mini series that's supposed to come out on Amazon Prime, as well as supposedly I did see some set photos, so I'd like to talk about that. And so whoever's interested in the series, go check out my channel. You might want to watch some of those. So that's what I got.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Alan, obviously, AG Reviews. You're on my channel now, so I won't go over mine too well. Like I said, I don't think I'll be doing too much during Comic-Con. Obviously, I won't be having this weekly podcast next week because I'll be just getting back essentially from San Diego when we would normally have it. And plus, there's no like major release movies or anything next week. It would basically just be us talking about the news from Comic-Con. So
yeah,
I'll be skipping out next week. But after that, we'll be back. It'll be the week after Brand New Day. So we'll obviously have a lot to talk about there. I'm trying to get other people to join the show. Obviously, Ian, you'll always have a spot if you want one.
Thank you.
But we'll go from there and, kind of determine there. I know I've been teasing it. I still am planning on doing like a Road to GTA 6 live stream where I play games from that franchise leading up to the release of GTA 6. I am going to start it when I get back. So that will probably be my live stream of that week when I come back. So I will start that. I've just been very busy preparing for this and with the regular show. So we'll go from there.
Awesome.
But yes, another great episode. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. Obviously, go see the Odyssey.
Go see the Odyssey.
One thing I can say, it's such a fantastic film. Christopher Nolan's fantastic. Everyone in that movie is fantastic. So go see the Odyssey, and then obviously keep an eye out for all the news dropping at San Diego Comic-Con.
Hell yeah.
But that is it for me, guys. So everybody, have a great night.
Okay. Bye.